should we play this game?
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
I hear you plan for it, so I suppose we should.
I did plan for it. I do not yet have the pregame question pulled up. I've been meaning to update these, but I haven't yet.
Real quick before we get started, is anyone interested in taking game notes today?
I'll
Got
do
it.
it.
I was about to say, don't everyone jump on it. Thank you so much.
Have we done the
No worries.
Have we done the has your character ever said "I love you" question?
No.
No, definitely not for this game.
Okay. Oh man, I'm getting my brain all mixed up with which questions we've done and not. All right, so that's our question for today. It is, well, specifically, it is, how easy or difficult is it for your character to say "I love you," and can they say it without meaning it?
Oh, can I go first?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is very easy for me, and I'm wondering if this is also easy for Rory as well. But yeah, that can just slip out whenever, as long as it's programmed.
No.
So if the right flag hits and it's like, oh, you said I love you, I love you too. And mate absolutely does not have to mean it ever.
So fucking precious. Okay.
Roy is pretty easy. It's just a word to Roy. Just one word out of trillions of words. Doesn't attach any special meaning to it other than he knows that it's something organics say to one another when they are full of emotion. But he doesn't have any problems just rattling that off to achieve whatever end he needs to achieve. Has he ever actually loved someone though, or said "I love you" authentically? No. Roy's association with love is when Roy hears the word love, he hears the word honeypot. Think about it like that.
Imagine that love would be very confusing for Roy, partially because it doesn't have as like definitive of a definition as like anger and sadness and a lot of these other emotions do.
Well, he's not confused by it so much. He it's a known quantity to him. To him, it's an irrationality complex. When somebody says "I love you," his reaction is, okay, prepare for whatever comes next to be completely irrational, to make no sense whatsoever, and to not follow logic.
So wait, can Roy do that too?
Can Roy do what?
Be irrational.
Roy can be irrational if he chooses to, but like it's kind of like a catch-22. It's just like he's being irrational for a rational reason. So it's not. Is it really irrational?
Like, okay, I'll leave it at that then. I'm impressed. I was gonna go down, but I'm like, no, I'll let that be because I'd like to see if that plays out.
Yeah, no worries.
I wonder. Do you think Roy? And I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your toes here, Bren, but do you think Roy could love mate?
Oh my god.
Roy could feel a sense of camaraderie with mate, but as far as
That's
love,
how it starts.
Yeah. Okay.
but
So
as far as a feeling of attachment that can lead to irrational behaviors, like Roy's not going to self-sacrifice for anybody. He doesn't love anybody to that extent. Like that would never enter his mind.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roy
so you're not going to do the Piccolo. You're not going to jump in front of Gohan and take the hit, are you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Cool beans.
Absolutely not.
Just want to make sure that I know that.
Piccolo's of the world.
Like if Roy does that,
The Piccolos of the world never admit they're gonna do that until the moment they do it.
I mean, that was the whole point of that arc.
Yeah.
if Roy would do something like that, there would be a rational reason for it.
Okay, so
He
you
wouldn't
wouldn't just randomly
like,
go, "Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
no, it wouldn't just
why am
be,
I
oh,
doing
I
this?"
feel such an explosion of emotion for this person that I'm going to self-sacrifice for them. Absolutely not.
Okay.
No,
This
100%.
is very good.
If he felt like it was the only way to achieve a certain goal, which is important regardless of him being alive or not, then yes. But
Mhm.
not just out of like a protective impulse.
Okay. Mate, I'm very glad you asked that question. That was a very good.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was worth pressing the issue, but I'm really
It was
interested to
definitely
see that in action.
Good shit.
Okay, so Evelyn, Emil, Ruda. Any of you guys know an answer yet?
Ruda says I love you to the mirror all the time, but saying I love you to someone else, I think he's never said that before. And I think that's, again, rooted in his father. All the women that he's interested in, I don't think it's out of like love. I think.
Do you think it's out of a need for I don't know if approval? Do you think it's out of a need for approval? Because that would certainly explain his obsession with the captain.
Well, yeah, just because of his like relationship with his father, always wanting approval from his father. Yeah.
So do you
Deep
think
down,
that the women
if I
that
was like to psychoanalyze Ruda, yes.
Do you think that the women he's attracted to tend to be women who are in positions of authority, especially positions of authority over him?
Not
Like the captain?
necessarily. Not necessarily. I think they have to be like mercenaries and rebels.
Okay. Good. That was a very good answer. Evelyn, Emil?
I don't think that like Emil has, and I think that it's like, I think it's kind of like a weird concept for Nova. I think that they have trouble differentiating, like, I think they have a lot of trouble understanding the difference between like fraternal love, Eros. I think they do not differentiate between Eros and like Phobos.
Right. So they don't have the Nova don't do sexual reproduction, so presumably they have no evolutionary benefit for that side of romantic love. But they do have a strong relationship we've established.
Yes.
So
I think he has said it, but never meant love.
Romantically.
He never said it romantically.
Do you think that he says it platonically to like his Nova that he was close to in his colony?
Well, I don't think the Nova have a word for it.
Okay.
Are you talking? Well, the word, I don't think, because like Nova's another language. I imagine that they don't. They have no word for love. They have a word for like a lot.
Okay. Has he said that to his family?
Oh, all the time.
Okay. Interesting. So now this circles back to we established in, I'm gonna say, the first game we ever played, that Emil has a crush on Mesa, who is the Wombat's
Yeah, he doesn't want to bang Mesa. He wants to just hang out with Mesa all the time.
So this is very
Mesa's cool as shit, and he wants to hang out with Mesa all the time because Mesa does all the interesting mechanical stuff and is their version of Emil.
So do you think that Emil's relationship with Mesa allowed to grow? Do you imagine that a relationship like that for Emil would get to the point of saying Nova for I like you a lot? Is that where that would kind of evolve into?
Yeah, something like that.
I like that. Okay. That was well answered. Evelyn?
So I think that Evelyn, she's said it before, she's meant it before. She can say it without meaning it, but Evelyn gives herself away very easily. So if she says it and she doesn't mean it, it's really obvious.
Okay. Yeah.
That being said, I feel like Evelyn doesn't. She's also the type of person where she just wants to give love all the time, whether it's like romantic, whether it's platonic. Like she'll say I love you to to her friends. She'll say I love you to people that she's interested in. Like she'll just throw it all over the place. She
I was
doesn't care.
thinking because usually when it is, can you say I love you without meaning it, usually the implication is that you have somebody who has said it to you and you are reciprocating the statement. But with Evelyn, I imagine that by the point that pretty much anyone would say I love you to Evelyn, she's at the point of reciprocating.
Yes, absolutely. Like
I don't know that she's ever needed to say it fallaciously.
Yeah. Probably not. Like it's something that she will definitely say in response. Like if someone says it to her, she'll just automatically say it back, unless it's someone she really, really doesn't like. But I would also think just because of her personality, Evelyn's probably usually the person to say it first.
Love it. Okay, that was very good. So,
I just thought of a new wrinkle because of something that Evelyn said. Roy has a really bad reaction to the phrase "I love you."
If somebody
he dislikes when he views, as I said, he views it as an irrationality, but he also dislikes when he hears it being said because of the way the concept of love was used in the children. Yep. I love all of my children equally.
Okay,
I love Yakumaru and I love Roy.
stop it.
I hate it.
It's the worst. And it's like you set him up for the joke and he just slam dunks it, and it's I would say chef's kiss, but I would never. Not even if it was like it would save the universe. I wouldn't.
It's chef's kiss.
Where would we be without our children?
A stream of vomit following them.
Yeah, basically. Just a vomit tube.
I just wanted to throw that in there so that there's going to be something interesting. This comes up.
That is a very good response.
Sorry, the butt.
Boy, howdy. I did not know where that gif was going. I'm like, alright, cool, I'm shutting it down.
Very good gift. Not bad. All right.
I mean, there were like 10 other asses you could have put. I would almost really appreciate having seen Steve Rogers' butt, but that'll do.
That's a solid butt. All right.
Yeah, you got this slight banana
This is the
hand
best depiction
tangle.
of Ruda's.
Okay. So, do you guys want to get started?
Oh yeah, no, it's game time.
All right, it's game time. So, I think I want to start with Evelyn and Ruda and Anwar and Mate. That whole group, I want to start with them first. Even though I think we mostly ended with them last game, but I think that is a scene that needs to be resolved.
Okay.
So, let's do it this way. Mate, I'm gonna say that you and Anwar have already arrived at the house, and you guys are able to see this house, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you and Anwar have already arrived at the house. As I said last time, it's notably the rest of the city is all very heavily corrupted by the Xenocian infestation stuff. But this area, there's like a bubble around it that is just untouched. For some reason, this area has been left pristine. So Mate and Anwar are inside. Evelyn, you, Ruda, Liko, and Dirk all come running around the corner. I think Liko blasts a few Xenocian drones that are chasing after you. And then as soon as you enter this like bubble right here, right around this thing, the ones that are chasing you just stop and turn around.
Like they can't pursue us past that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's unsettling.
So, well, they can't or they won't. So you are in this. You're like, I don't know, 50 feet away from the house. It's a little hard to show on this map, but remember that this map is the size of an entire city. So the distance, this open field around the house is the size of a small park. Maybe 100 feet in diameter, something like that.
Okay.
So, Evelyn, you're at the border. Do you want to do anything, or are you just going straight for the house?
I'm going straight for the house.
Okay. Ruda, you and the others are following.
We're
Okay.
still distracted thinking of Chigara. So
I'm
he's just
glad you remembered that.
following.
Okay, so Evelyn, you get inside, and Anwar is sitting on a chair inside. It's an Aelfin chair, which means it's got all kinds of natural fluidity to it. And he's looking around at this house, which is just completely covered in dust. And as you can see from the outside, completely overgrown and has just been left to the whims of nature. And he's looking around with an expression like he's dazed, I think is a good word for it. And mate, he's just been sitting there for like 2 minutes at this point. Are you responding to this in any way, or are you just waiting anxiously for Evelyn to arrive?
Yeah, I've sent my text messages to Evelyn, and I'm kind of confused and definitely need some support. I tried doing the thing that I saw happen on some video I saw online. I tried snapping my fingers in front of Anwar's face, and it did nothing. So now I'm out of options.
You watched a YouTube video?
Yeah, basically, I watched a YouTube video.
Space YouTube.
Very good.
How to help people who are stuck in chairs.
Okay.
Help! I'm stuck in this chair. I forgot
right.
how to get up.
So, Evelyn, Anwar is on this chair and is looking around, dazed and confused, and has not responded to you even after you barged in the door. How do you continue? How do you do? What do you do?
I think Evelyn's gonna like run up and like grab his hands to like get his attention. She's just gonna be like, "What's wrong? What's going on? And why isn't anybody answering my text messages? You know how much I hate that."
Yeah. Right. So,
Like mate would feel some kind of way about that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what, and I just look down at my data pad, and I'm like, I don't what.
Oh, what? And then when I notice that mate's doing that, I'm like, "Not you, mate. You're always perfect when answering my text messages. I'm talking about Anwar."
Cool.
Ruda's like, "What's
I
a
fashion a
text
smile.
Hold on. I love the idea that you got Anwar's number, like, at the beginning of this thing, and you have sent, all of the messages are on the right side of the phone.
Oh, absolutely. And it's probably bothering her way more than she wants to admit out loud, even though she just kind of did. It's like, she's like way more upset about it than she's letting on.
Okay. Yeah, so you grab one of his right arms, and with his other right arm, he pats you on the shoulder, and then I think he takes your hand and uses it as a like hand up to stand up out of the chair. And he starts walking around the house. And he's looking around and just kind of like just touching things around the house. Like there will be a broom or like a fire poker stuff like that. And he's just investigating it, and as he does this, he says, I spent 10 years in this house. This was my mentor's house, Dion. Yeah,
Oh.
it is Dion. Sorry, Dion. I get Dion and Tuon mixed up. If Dion is correct. Yes. So that was his response. What were you saying?
What was Evelyn there? I don't think Evelyn was actually there when they had the argument about their mentors. So I don't know. Does Evelyn have any concept for the mentor?
We had several games back. We did a pre-game question and asked if any of you guys could recount something about your mentors. And at the end of that, I had Anwar and Malati both talk about their mentors.
Okay.
So this transitions into, I think that as you ask for a refresher, Anwar starts talking, still while kind of talking to you in a daze while wandering around the house and looking at different things. And he explains that when they were just coming of age, him and his sister both applied for apprenticeships, as young elfin do, and amazingly, they got accepted by the two most important elfin on this planet. Two of the most important elfin anywhere in the galaxy. So Malati was accepted by Tuon, who is kind of like the close to like a king that you would think of, except it's more he rules by the respect of his peers, not by divine mandate or might of arms or whatever humans use to determine these things. And he's famed for being the elfin who had been running this world ship since the founding of this world ship. He's thousands of years old, perhaps even close to 1,000,000. He's been around since the founding of, since the very, very early history of the elfin people, since the ends of the if you were to go back before his time, you would reach the forbidden histories that nobody learns. And then Dion is his twin brother, and Anwar was accepted to Dion. So while Malati was studying magic and the arts of the noble magician warriors of the Elfin under their king, for lack of a better word, Anwar was studying under Dion, who was Tuon's right-hand man. He led their armies, and he was an incredible tree singer who could build. He created several brand new what you guys would call machines and inventions, and Dion was partially responsible for the development of this planet. He built, largely, he was the architect of this world ship. And at this point, he's starting to seem more animated, and he pats Ruda on the shoulder as he walks past him, and he says, kind of in passing, "You would have loved him, Ruda. He was a fierce warrior, passionate in his combat, and he always took the lead when we would charge into battle. He taught me the elfin sword fighting style, the same one that you use, and he taught me elfin pride and, you know, so much of who I was. And then a few years back, well, about 10 years ago, I was on a raid with him against a Xenosian-infested planet, trying to clear it out, and he got left behind. They broke through our forces, and we were separated, and we regrouped and waited for him to regroup, and he just never did. We looked for him, but it was a losing battle, and before long we needed to retreat, and I just never saw him again. When we got back,
Ruda's actually heard these stories, and he became extremely inspired by this guy when he was like getting into demon hunting as a kid.
Yeah.
His father was like super obsessed with him too.
yeah, he's an elfin hero, and while they're both heroes, but while Tuon is known for his leadership and his magic and his charisma, his way to bring people together, Dion was he was not known to be terribly charismatic like his brother, but he was an implacable warrior. And yeah, so when they got back, his house was declared a holy site, and that's why they never built anything around it or never upkept it. It was supposed to be left to the whims of nature. And Anwar, being the apprentice of such an important man, he could have been offered any position in the world ship, but he just couldn't be around them anymore. It didn't feel right. So much of their Aelfin pride just felt hollow and wrong without Dion to contextualize it, and so Anwar left. He just couldn't be. The memories were too painful for him to stay in this world, and he ended up living in the rest of the galaxy, and he kind of holds up his knife and his gun, both of which are human-made, and shrugs. And then, while I was off being a drunken rogue across the galaxy, my sister stayed and finished her apprenticeship under Tuon, and was, essentially a princess. So Tuon died a while back, and she was a leader of sorts while they were figuring out who would be the next chieftain, and that's when the Xenosian attack happened and the planet was lost. I know this is much more painful for her than for me, but because this was her home right up until it was lost, a few weeks back, and I haven't known this place as home for a decade now, but I don't know. I think that we both have a lot of pain about the people we lost, and he just shrugs. What do you do?
I think that Anwar should know that just because he left and he didn't stay, it sounds like he feels like he doesn't have the right to feel the way he does because of comparing his situation with Melodi's, but Avalon would just want to tell him that regardless of what happened, like he still has every right to feel the way he feels, and it's okay to feel that way, and he should like confront and acknowledge those emotions, or he's not going to make any progress at all.
Sure. Mate, Ruda, do either of you have input?
Yeah, I would just like to come up close to Anwar and tell him that he's not alone in this, and not in the way that humans usually say you're not alone and they just want you to feel better. I mean that I'm very familiar with what these things do, and sometimes you feel like you're stuck because you don't have the strength to protect those you care about. But I think you don't have to be alone in that, because you do have strength, because there are people that care about you, and you have a sister, and you should be happy about that.
That was beautiful.
Ruda just looks at Anwar and he like goes wide-eyed and he's like, "Bro, you studied under Tuan? Bro, we need to spar. Like, as soon as we get back to the ship, we need to spar." And he slaps him on the back really hard.
I think that actually was important. The breaking the tension there was important for him. And yeah, I think he chuckles and slaps you on the back with one of his hands and says, I haven't fought with an elfin longsword in years, but
Bro,
yeah,
I'll kick your
I
ass,
like that.
but it'll be an honor to kick your ass.
Yeah, that's okay. Cool. That's Ruben.
All right, yeah, I think he wipes away some tears and he shakes his head and says, "All right, we should get back. They're doing diplomacy with a bunch of Xenosians, and there's a good chance Melodi's gonna lose her shit and kill all of them if I'm not there to keep track of her. So,
Is there,
catch up."
and I'm speaking specifically to Anwar.
Mhm.
Is there anything here that you can take that would remind you of this place, of your time with your master?
That's good. Yeah, I think he thinks about it, and then he walks and he grabs something off of the mantle place that is it's a circular symbol, or it's a circular pendant with a symbol inside of it that seems somehow nature themed.
It's just all nature stuff.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of like flowers and branches, and it's got like a deer in there. I don't know. And he takes that and he stuffs it in his pack, and he nods and heads out.
Yeah,
Is that scene?
Yeah, I think that's fine. And I'm happy that he's gonna take that. I'm probably gonna try to steal that from Anwar later.
Well, you could just take something else from the house.
No, but that's very important to him. So that's why I want it.
Real quick, what did Anwar take?
It's just a pendant from over the mantle.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not making that suspicious on purpose. Just I really want that.
All right, so you guys start making your way over to the other group, and as they're going, I think Anwar takes a second to let his guard down and say that he does really appreciate you guys being there to, help him, even when it's not comfortable. All right, so we're going to the other group now. Oh no, this isn't Grella, this is Scree. Way bigger.
I was panning around and thought I moved that and was just like, oh shit!
Okay, now I need to go to the GM layer and get this Got out of there. Move you guys over. Alright. And now I need to pick out a good sprite for...
Ugh, that hive looks like a rib cage made of sausages.
Ooh, is it visible? I didn't,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks like some like real like Contra ass level.
Yeah.
It's like slightly sexual, but
little bit of Geiger in there.
yeah.
Alright,
Oh
yeah,
god,
so-
and that. Oh god.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm
okay.
glad I went to the fucking forest house.
Yeah, so this is the general vibe of this building.
Meanwhile, inside of the xenomorph cervix.
Yeah. Concept art about Zerg, and I want you to know that even like when I was doing my drawings, it is very hard to draw Xenocian stuff and not get just a little bit vaginal.
Oh yeah, like my mental imagery of it is pretty on point. You've done a good job with it. I'm just making jokes.
Yeah. So the way that I've actually been thinking about the shape of this building is kind of like it's kind of like a heart with a pair of lungs wrapped around it that make these like wings around it. Except it's huge. It's 4 stories tall, maybe.
Jesus.
So you follow Skria inside, and I need to pick out, let's see, creatures, Xenocians. I'm gonna get a good creepy girl for the Baroness. Oh no, that's a little too intense.
Too intense?
I mean, I'm gonna drop it. This is not the right energy for this for this character, but this is the one that I was looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not quite the right energy.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I could see where you think that like maybe that's a little too on the like hardcore side.
Alright. So you head inside and there's an elevated space. How many people here have played Ocarina of Time? Everyone?
I have.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Okay. You know the level in Ocarina of Time when you're still a little kid and you have to go through like this whale's belly?
Whales?
Yeah, it's when you go up to the Zora domain and you go
Yeah.
inside the giant fish. Yeah.
Oh man, I
that's-
forgot a lot of that game.
Yeah, that's what traveling through this building feels like. Like, there are walls and platforms and even, like, stairs in a way, except they're all just made out of biomatter. So there's a pedestal, for lack of a better word, a stage, directly in front of you as you head in, and there's a feminine feeling Xenocian woman. It looks like she has sheets of fabric draped around her, but in reality, you know from experience that, or, well, some of you know probably, it's not actually fabric, it's more like sheets of scaled skin. So you know in Jurassic Park they have those things that hiss and then they poof out their fan above their head.
The Dilophosaurus.
That matter is the stuff that the like fabric that she's wearing is.
Yeah, that's like her skirts and stuff.
Oof.
That's
Yep.
great.
Roy
It
is
is all kinds of different colors. She has jewelry that she's wearing, and the jewelry, interestingly, it has a sheen as if it is made of precious metals like gold and stuff, but it also has a texture and shape to it that is like bone. So it kind of looks like she has like hoop earrings made of gold that she just grew out of her body.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
They're
So
kidney stones.
so you come inside and or as you're approaching the entrance, she asks you to come inside and let her see you, I guess. Emil, you won't be able to fit your scout mech inside, but you can leave it at the door and grab it when you come out.
Okay.
Do I
Everybody's
still have
going
the
in.
bubble around us?
I have to imagine that you would have put it down at some point, or at least made it smaller because just logistical problems with traveling with it.
Well, I figured like walking through the city with the bubble, that was why we were attracting so much attention, because we were pushing stuff around as we were moving throughout the area. And here I would think that it would be smaller, though I don't think Roy would have taken it down just because, Roy dislikes organics and is in the middle of an organic structure. So he's completely disgusted right now. He's having a reaction similar to Agent Smith in the first Matrix movie when he's got Morpheus like tied up and he like wipes the sweat off his head and is like, you know what I can't stand? The smell of the place. Like, so he says something sort of under his breath like, the odor in this chamber is thick.
Oh, no poem, just straight up it stink on his bus.
No poem. He's just disgusted.
So everybody heads inside. I'll just move y'all lot in there then.
I think he's also disturbed that the smell is getting through into the bubble.
Yeah. So, so you guys are in here. There's chambers heading off to other sides, and you can see floors above you. It's got a sort of open floor plan. And you can see Xenocians just everywhere. There's like a swarm of them skittering around the walls, and it probably makes you feel pretty vulnerable. It's a pretty scary place to be. So Skrella is going to lean down, and she says, "It is an honor to make your acquaintance. I am Skrella." Do you guys introduce yourselves?
Roy scoffs and turns and just looks around the room.
Emil is kind of feeling that way as well. A little bit.
Okay. And I think
Everyone cold shoulder this diplomat. On 3, 2, 1.
Melody definitely has a very aggressive response. I think she shoves her staff at the person and she says, "I am from this planet, this home that you have taken from me, and blah blah blah." She does introduce herself, but she makes it very obvious that she is not excited to talk to this person and just wants to get it over with, so make your point and be done with it, kind of thing. Skrella gets to the point and lets you know that she wants to know what you're doing here because she suspects that the two groups of you can help each other. She has a service she would like to request of you, but before she does that, she wants to know what your plans are so she can know what she has to offer you. Emil or Roy, do either of you want to
Before we go forward, what is the full goal again of our presence on this planet?
goal is to retrieve the heart of the Fatimah Rue, which is one giant soul stone at the
For later.
in the basically in the Capitol building,
Gotcha.
that contains the souls of not exactly every Elfin, but a huge percentage of Elfin that have lived on this world ship for the entire, millennia-long history of the world ship. And Malati wants to get that out of here before something
Right.
bad, before the Xenosians are able to corrupt it or anything.
Gotcha.
And it is in the Capitol building, which is over here, but that has a swarm of Xenosians in front of it that would be very hard to pass through. The other complicating factor is after you get it, you then need to get out alive, and you were only able to get in with a dropship because there's so much aerial resistance here, and
Okay, I think I got enough to go on.
okay, yeah.
So Roy has been walking around in this area while everybody like gathered together and spoke their introductory words, very openly showing his disgust for everything that he sees, specifically regarding smell. And then he goes into almost a interrogator mode, since he does have that interrogator aspect.
Yeah.
Gets very close, does the whole anime pushing the glasses up thing on his nose, even though he doesn't really have glasses. And says to her, "We are looking for a specific object, of which we are not prepared to discuss with you. But you've asked for our presence here, in this hovel.
Oh,
What is it you want from us?"
there is a newcomer in our colony. A new baron has come up, an outsider, and he is gaining more power than I am comfortable with. I would like him removed, but if I were to do the deed myself or with any of my minions, then it could cause a civil war. One of you, however, could dispose of him for me, and we would be on our way. I
Roy's
will get what I want,
interest
and
is
then we can help you get what you want.
Roy's interest is slightly piqued, and he says, "Interesting. So, you require a foreign power to do things for which you cannot, which would seem to indicate that you do not have the same level of power as that who you are sending us after. You are weak.
She shakes
Why
her
should
hand
we
at
not
you.
just go? Why should we not just go to him?"
She shakes her hand at you. My what would they call it? A family hive. My family is much older and stronger than his. But if I were to act against him openly, then I would incur the wrath of every other family on this planet. I cannot act against him without angering everyone else, and he cannot act against me for the same reason. So there's not this power imbalance, but there is a I mean, she cannot just openly murder him for the same reason that like any one of us cannot just openly kill somebody we don't like. Like there will be consequences if she does that. So if somebody else can do it that's not directly associated with her, it's better.
She's
for
just
her.
hiring an assassin.
Yeah.
Of which Roy is familiar with because of the Children of Mindenshire. which is why his interest is piqued. There does, I mean, even if there's not like a power imbalance, there does appear to be a power struggle.
Yes, definitely.
And if one side of that struggle requires an outside party to carry out an act, then that would suggest we have a certain level of leverage.
Oh yeah, you do, definitely.
So that's kind of what Roy is getting at. Roy looks to Emil and Maladi, sorry, and says to them, I think he says specifically to Maladi, "We are here for you and your people. One form of biology is not more important over one, in my eyes. So I ask you, what would you require of this being in order for us to proceed?"
I think she thinks for a second, and then she says, "I am loath to work with these creatures, but we might not have another choice. I would need her to offer us an opening into the heart's chamber, and I would need
Safe passage.
safe passage out specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does Emil actually cut in with that? 'Cause
Yeah,
that would be
Emil
good.
actually cuts in with that.
Perfect.
We need, I mean, basically we need some form of either a drop in the guard at a very specific time, or a Emil has an idea.
Yes.
Never mind.
Okay.
No, I mean,
No, go for it.
this is kind of weird,
Sure.
but it does harken back to something that Emil has been in Emil's character from the very beginning, so it's not without a base.
Sure.
How would you feel about Emil using some of the radioactive shit that he eats for breakfast to do with the to poison the guy?
The
Flip some polonium in him and he dies?
Oh, in the
I was
person
actually
who-
wondering about that with him just walking around in here. Like, do you exude radiation of any kind, and would it have
no, my
any
belly
effect?
feels it from you guys.
Yeah.
Y'all are fine. But if I just vomit, I wouldn't. I would not get near my vomit.
That's solid. Xenotions are sturdy, but
Are Xenotions? I mean, Emil has some pretty heinous shit swirling around inside of him. How do Xenotions feel about Cobalt-60?
I think it's a solid option.
Okay. All right. You're going to see Roy. You're going to see Emil kind of turn away from you and make a hacking sound, and then you're going to see just the tiniest glimmer of a pearl-sized blue stone that he slips into a little pouch he has on it.
Okay.
And he's like, "Don't open this up."
Is it a lead shielded pouch?
It's a lead shield. Yeah.
Roy
Okay.
notices this, and you notice him noticing it.
Okay. No beat.
And where is the rest of the party right now? They're still making their way toward us. Are they
Yeah.
going to enter at any point in this scene, or?
I think that you guys had several. You had several minutes on them, so I think that you'll probably meet up with them afterwards. But you can call them. You can put them on speakerphone.
No, I'm not interested in doing that quite yet.
That's good.
So Roy again notices Emil, and Emil notices Roy noticing. And Roy looks back to Skria? Is that who this is?
Skrella.
Skrella. And he says, "Where is this Baron, and what guarantee would you give us that should we carry out your request, we will receive what we need?"
So the answer to the first question, did you guys tell her that you needed to get into the heart chamber?
Oh no, I didn't tell. I was very specific to not tell her what exactly it was that we were looking for. So we didn't tell her.
Did Melody tell her that?
Fuck Melody.
I think
Melody definitely did.
I think she did. Okay, thank you.
She didn't say what we needed from there, did she? Or is it like, if they're going there, there's only one thing they'd be looking for?
No, she just said that we needed to go to the heart chamber. She didn't say why.
Okay.
So did you just ask like where the person that you need to kill is?
Yeah, where the Baron is, and basically what guarantee do we have that we'll get to the chamber to get what we want?
She actually, I think she smiles, and it is a kind of ominous smile because of the sort of insectoid face she has.
All mandibles.
Close, login. Give me just a second. I'm trying to find something. Facebook, maybe? Is this it? Oh, this is it. Okay, give me just a second, because it occurs to me that I really want to give you guys a concept art of what she looks like, so that you can have that in mind, because she's a relatively significant NPC. Ooh, that's not bad. Maybe that. Here we go. Yes, this one is very good. Okay. So, this image is very... Oh, I can't just copy an image in, can I? I need to save it. Save it as base, and then... What was the name of that file? Started with 7. Here we go. Okay. Alright, so this is kind of the vibe to have in mind when thinking of her. It is very, very organic, but also very fashionable, and as Aeneas just pointed out, very pretty. Like she's very much the like succubus archetype. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out while I had it, because otherwise it was going to bug me. She does her own clothes. She grows them.
Ugh. Fucking skin tags all over the place.
So, so she's going to tell you that, fortuitously, the person that she needs you to deal with has actually stationed himself in the Chamber of the Heart.
Oh, how convenient.
How convenient!
Mm-hmm.
Says Kevin to the DM. Yeah, so if you can make your way there, then you'll find him as well as the thing you need. As far as proof that she will let you escape, I think she hesitates for a second because she doesn't want to offer this lightly, but she also doesn't want to let you guys. She knows that you guys aren't likely to just betray her because, like, you guys literally fought your way across an entire planet to accomplish this thing. So she whistles to one of the drones near her and gives them some instructions in the clicking Xenosian language, and a few seconds later it comes back carrying a bundle. It's about 2 feet wide, maybe a foot tall, and it is made of this same fabric that her air quote clothes are made out of, and it kind of looks like a cocoon. So she accepts it gingerly and glides forward, and she says, "This is one of my brood. Not a regular drone like those, but one that could grow to be a knight or even a baroness in her own time." She starts to hold it forward and then I think pulls it back for a second, and she says, "I will give this to you. This is precious to me. When you have completed your goals, then you will give it back to me when your ship has arrived safely to take you away. Is this amenable?"
Roy gives a pained and disgusted smile and says, "Excellent," and sends forward his disc drone to create a floating cradle, sort of like Baby Yoda, because he doesn't want to touch it.
Sure.
We will send it back when we're out of gunshot range.
Ooh, interesting.
Like, we will not, under any circumstances, relinquish it until we are outside of gunshot range.
Well, then how about you travel with a single unarmed escort to a single lightly armed escort. Well, you guys wouldn't have any reason to keep it, would you?
To keep the baby thing? No.
Yeah. She doesn't necessarily have to worry about you guys getting greedy and taking it from her.
If it grows up and we forget about it somewhere, we've just created another Xenosian infestation.
As far as Roy is concerned, Roy doesn't even really believe that this is a baby. He still thinks that this is something that's not being fully described. So he doesn't trust this thing either, which is why he didn't even want to touch it.
Okay, yes. When your ship arrives, she will send one of her flyers to accompany you out of the atmosphere, and when you have safely made dock at your carrier, you can drop the baby off with the flyer. Amenable?
That is amenable. Let's leave this writhing mass of tumors behind.
Okay, fantastic. Skria is going to stay here with her mistress, and
quick question: are the Xenosians entertained by how disgusted Roy is with them, or are they just not have no reaction whatsoever?
I think they are. Actually, I think they don't have a reaction to it because I don't know that they can read your body language.
That's cool.
It's like
that's even better. So they really didn't get that disgusted smile. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't think that
because Roy is not a diplomat. Roy is an interrogator, but
Yeah, I don't think that a spider would understand if you scowled at it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to. Well, first I need to move this thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this. Everyone, get a good look at the nice, pretty Zenosian lady, because she's going away too. Bye bye. And then I'll move these two back here.
Amil wants to look much more closely at the Zenosian brood than Roy did.
Okay, what do you want to... Do you have a question?
No, I just want to look at it.
How... You held that for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
That's a Haichu every other second.
Sorry, I stepped away for a second. What just happened? I
Kevin,
heard Amil was looking more closely at the cocoon thing.
yeah. I want to look very closely at it.
Can we call it the larva?
Can we what?
Can we call it the larva, or are we calling it the brood, or...
I mean, we could call it the stinky thing for all we care, right? Like,
Alright, Roy's gonna call it the larva.
the larva.
Morgan's gonna call it the stinky thing.
Of course.
Alright. Sorry, I had to go get myself a Haichu.
does Amil find it, what does it look? Is it cute?
It's a, so... Maybe what is inside of it would be cute, but you have probably like no reaction to it because it looks just like a butterfly cocoon. It's just kind of like a ball of like webbing.
Amil looks back at Roy and Roy, I have very conflicting feelings about this thing. I don't know. Amil doesn't know how he feels about it yet.
Okay. I don't know that you need to have good feelings about
The
it.
thing is that Amil knows he has extremely strong feelings about this kind of life form, but he doesn't know what those strong feelings are yet.
Interesting. Okay.
I know I'm an extremist. I just don't know what kind of extremist I am yet.
Alright.
Well, side note, Roy wants to burn down this whole city. And everything in it.
That's not really a side note more than it's a footnote. Like, hey guys, just so you know, we're burning this whole fucking planet.
I mean, that's the reason you guys called an armada. The notion hives are
Like,
definition of kill it with fire.
I feel like this is just like nightmare scenario for Roy. he likes the clean, flat, plasticine surfaces of synthetic materials, and this is all just meat and bones and organic stuff and pulsating, vibrating shit. And he's just, yeah, he is not happy right now at all.
Did Bill ask a question for the whole group? That this is not like a in-game question. This is more like out.
Sure.
Something that we would have known. To the organics or the organic life forms that consume, are you meat eaters or vegetarians?
So this
Roy
is
takes pills.
Ruda and Avalyn and Roy.
Ruda, Avalyn, and Roy. What do you eat? Do you eat meat?
Definitely, Ruda eats meat for sure.
Okay.
Like almost exclusively. He does eat a lot of veggies though, because he needs to get his vitamin intake.
Oh yeah. No, Ruda's healthy. Ruda's very healthy.
Roy prefers nutrients in the form of supplemental pills and other compressed foodstuffs. He doesn't enjoy the process of eating, though he can, and he eats omnivorous. Has no distinction between meat and vegetable matter. It's all organic to him.
Evelyn also eats meat too, but it's not a thing of like she prefers one over the other. Like if anything, Evelyn just probably eats a lot of junk food. But yeah, she doesn't really distinct between it. Like, oh, I won't touch this.
Yeah, the thing that Amil is kind of like the reason that Amel is like on the fence about like if he hates or like loves Xenosian life is that Xenosian life is like basically they're just, you know, predators, right? And Nova are kind of weirded out by the fact that like all forms of life eat other forms of life, you know?
Well,
Because Nova don't eat other living beings, so Nova are kind of like, you eat plants? Aren't plants alive? Like they're like kind of
so one
not
thing,
like necessarily appalled by the concept, just very confused by the concept of like having to eat another living thing. So he's not sure if he thinks it's shitty or if he thinks it's just something that all forms of life do, in which case the Xenosians are no different than like a lion. They're just better at it.
yeah. So one thing that he would probably find very interesting is that they definitely eat all the life forms when they're taking over a planet.
Yeah.
But once the planet has been scoured and it has become a true Xenosian colony, they actually, the way that they sustain themselves is by eating other specialized Xenosians, because you have to think of the Xenosians as they're not a species, they're more like a kingdom of animals, but they're a kingdom of animals that all have a shared language and a shared like common interest and a hive mind.
So they kind of farm their own kind.
Yeah, sometimes they will just eat other Xenosians that are like peasants, like that's perfectly acceptable. But also they will have like a Xenosian farm will be literally just like fields and fields of just Xenosian biomatter that is extracting nutrients from the ground soil and then like popping it up in like pills.
It's a big, in the same way, it's like, imagine the fields of Kansas, but if the entire fields of Kansas was
Which is made of meat.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Absolutely gross.
I feel like Emil would find that kind of cool.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Emil is like fascinated by life, but he's not like super comfortable with any form of life other than plant life, because plant life doesn't kill other life to survive. But he's not like super like weird about it. But he's just confused.
I don't think that he would be he would have a positive view of them, because they basically have a caste system, but it doesn't exist on a social level. It exists at a biological level.
I think
So
he's just
that would make them
very,
like unique from all other forms of life.
I think he's just very confused, and he wonders why everybody doesn't just eat like Einsteinium like he does.
So, you guys head south from Skrella's hive, and you run into Avalon and Anwar's group heading up north. And I assume that you guys, at least Roy's and Melodi's group, trade information about the mission that you just accepted. Avalon, mate Ruda, do you guys have anything you need to pass on to them?
I would probably message Melody and had let her know after we had secured Anwar that things are okay and that she doesn't need to worry.
Oh, interesting.
But nothing else.
Yeah, I think that she sends you back, cool, comma, thanks, with a period at the end.
I imagine that they are
And so
busy.
thank you, yeah.
Very curt.
Yeah, very very frank. This family, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that when they get back together, Melody and Anwar give each other like a considering look, but neither of them say anything to the other. Ooh, you know what? Actually, I forgot that she needs to make an opening for you guys. Here's what I'm wondering. Do you guys want to end at 4 or closer to 5?
I'm good for either.
I'm good for 5.
If we go for 5, I think I can wrap up this chapter.
All right, let's do 5.
Yeah, does everyone else go with that?
Yeah.
I'd be happy to press on.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm
Yes?
gonna drag Skria back to your group. Because you need somebody to take care of the Xenocian hive milling out front of the heart chamber. So I feel like I need something to happen here before I just let you guys into the building. Alright, here's what's gonna happen. Yeah. Alright, we're not going to do a combat map, but as she approaches the gate, she starts exuding those sleepy pheromones that are much more effective on Xenocians than on humans. So you guys can feel that she's doing it, but you are not affected as much as the other Xenocians are. And
You have a bubble too.
you see that a good number of them start just like drifting off before they realize what's happening. But as soon as they do, the several of them let out a like battle cry and start charging at her. So you guys are going to need to keep her safe until she is able to get all of them out.
She can't fight.
No,
She can't fight at all.
no, she's a diplomat. She's a
Nate
husband.
keeps their gun holstered.
Oh.
Nate is not helping with this fight at all.
I mean, but if she succeeds, then you guys can just get into the building. If she fails, then she's going to. I mean, she is participating. She's the equivalent of a wizard who's casting sleep spells nonstop.
No, I
That's
don't.
cool, and I respect that, and I
No,
appreciate her DPS help. I'm not helping.
We
Damn.
that's, like, she's.
Wait, where
releasing
is she? I
pheromones.
don't see
You can
her.
just bottle
She's like
it up-
right ahead of us.
bottle up the air and blow it at other people.
Is this her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't put down sprites for all the other people because I want this to be a pretty quick encounter, and it's more narratively. It's not very important.
Oh
So,
yeah, I'm not
Roy-
being petty for no reason. I'm being specifically petty because I don't like or trust her. There's something off,
Interesting.
and something's wrong. And I'm going with my programming, which is telling me don't trust.
Okay, I like that. So Mate
Well, if
is...
we're not doing a whole lot of moves or anything, Roy is still carrying that child. Well, if the disc projector is still carrying that child, Roy is actually one of the people in the party who's just like using his weapon, the lightsaber whip, to help keep them away from her.
Cool. So you're covering her.
Yeah.
Mate, are you willing to provide cover fire to any of the Xenocians that start coming after your teammates?
Absolutely, I will protect my friends no matter what. I don't consider her a friend.
Sure. Melody gets to the front line and lets out a big victorious grin because she can finally let loose. And she just starts hurling fireballs like crazy. And Dirk pulls up next to her and starts doing the same thing. So the two of them just have a like machine gun stream of fireballs going into the crowd. Likewise,
Fireballs
Leo
with
gets in
bullets.
there with her Gatling gun. Other party members, do any of you participate in any way?
I'm actually think I like the way Mate's approaching this. I don't want to help unless, like, I have to.
Yeah, Ruda's just kind of watching.
Jesus.
Yeah, Roy is in fulfill the contract mode, and
Okay,
also he's
well,
really disgusted by these things. So he's kind of in the same place as Melody. Any chance to kill more of them is good.
Okay, well then in that case, I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make this hard on you, Bren. I just
No, that's fine. Okay, so she is able to get 74 of them asleep or in the process of falling asleep before she is butchered. There are 26 remaining, and as soon as she is down, they start coming at you guys.
Oh shit!
Oh, so she's getting butchered. She's actually getting killed.
Yeah, she was attacking them.
yeah, she was giving us cover, and she went to the front, which your DPS don't go to the front. So that's her fault for not playing her class.
Oh god!
Yeah, so yeah, we can straight up start blasting these fools. I'm going double guns.
Give me a second. I'm going to Oh, boy. Yeah, here's what I'm gonna do. Hold
So
on.
is she dead, or?
Yeah, she's dead.
So why am I still carrying around this chrysalis thing?
Because you need it in order to get out off of the planet. She's not
Yeah.
the Empress person.
Yeah, the larva is our concrete assurance.
Okay, I thought that person who was getting killed was this character.
No,
Word. Okay.
we would not have let that happen.
That's why I was just like, damn, y'all just letting letting her get killed. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Whatever.
That was Scrella. This is Screen. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
word,
that lady
word,
meant
word.
nothing to mate.
Aeneas, I'm very happy that you are able to successfully pronounce her name.
Thank you.
All right.
I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Give me a second. I'm making a proper combat map for us, since it seems like this is going to turn into a real combat. Temp combat map. And now I need to go find my pictures. Temporary temp combat map. Map layer. Come on. Yeah. Alright, so this is not going to be the most high definition map, considering it's working off of just a screenshot. But I think this is roughly the right proportions. Maybe not quite. Yeah, so assume that each of one character size in here is like 10 feet. And now I need to go grab some duders for you to fight. Have I used the creepy... Oh, I haven't used these creepy purple guys yet, so they're perfect. Yeah, they're perfect for a number of reasons. Alright, now, let me start dropping in. We've got 24. So, first, there's definitely a pair of tanks, and these tanks are like the size of a tank. They're like 20 feet long, maybe. And then you've got oops.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's still a
Shit.
lot of them.
I told you, it was like an army.
My God.
And then...
Come
so
on, you
it-
apes! You want to live forever?
Alright, so, notably, these creatures have a distinctly humanoid shape to them, and they remind you a bit of like medieval knights and stuff. And which is, I mean, you have certainly plenty of people that use swords and armor in the modern day. But they look, the ones who are in the front line that have this like sword and shield shape to them, they have literal like swords that they're carrying and shields, except the shields are just like a hunk of bone that's growing out of one arm, and likewise their swords are just growing out of their other arm, and then they have a pair of extra limbs to compensate. So they are closing in on you now that I'm actually going to go ahead and say one of these tanks was on the front line because they had to they were taking out the Skrilla, the Scree girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what your plan of action is. We're not going to do a full combat encounter where you guys have to kill each of these individually, but I need to know how you're going about this battle. You've got two tanks, you've got half a dozen archer type things, you've got half a dozen rogues things, and then about a dozen knights.
Yeah, Ruda's gonna blast the shit out of everything with his flamethrower.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we need to let Ruda take the front and just carve a path through the middle with the flamethrower.
Okay.
And then with the tanks, I think I'm gonna just go hand-to-hand combat with the giant, huge sword.
Well,
Okay.
But first,
before
I'm gonna
you
blast as much as I can with the flamethrower.
before we go too far, whenever that fire gets laid down, whichever is in the tank that you're not going on, Roy is going to use free running to jump up onto one of the other tanks and start stabbing at it
Yes.
with his lightsaber,
Um,
laser saber, beam saber.
Yo, come
Gonna
on.
be, like, juking
Fuck, George
and
Lucas is gonna
diving
sue me.
around in the mech,
He's gonna
trying
come
to
find you.
avoid them and trying to like pop one good sniper round into the brain of one of the tanks.
okay. And remember that you guys have lots of cover here that you can use. Okay, so alright, so Emil is scurrying back and forth in his mech. Mesa and Brad are both running defense for the people who are in the back lines. Ruda, do you want to start with your flamethrower or start by going after one of the tanks?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely trying to spray the crowd.
Okay.
Like this area, get the middle.
Yeah, Anwar's not great at crowd combat, but he is doing what he can with his SMG. Okay. So I think that Avalon, do you have a approach? Remember that you are tired and like mentally injured from your attempt to teleport a bunch of people at once last game.
Yeah. Is Liko still providing covering fire with her chain
Liko,
gun?
Dirk, and Melody are all shooting fireballs and like Gatling gun rounds.
I'm basically wondering, does Evelyn have enough like mental proficiency to at least manage a small sped up time bubble around Liko, Dirk, and Melody to just increase the rate at which their fireballs and chain guns are spraying into the horde.
Jesus.
Interesting.
Mm.
Yes.
That's so good.
I will say you definitely can, and you took the ability to do that specifically. So why don't you go ahead and give me a resolve roll? Because it'll be harder than usual because you are injured. Or rather, I'll just pay you a fate point and use your injury against you. Okay, I set you back up to 6 fate points. Yeah, so go ahead and let me see that resolve. 10 is... I think 10 is good enough for this. You do successfully get a wall of setup time around them. So, let's see. Alright, and then... Okay. So, the 3 of them are able to take out 7 Xenotians out of the horde. So I think I just selected 7. Oh, make sure I don't have that guy selected. Yep, that's 7. Oh, I can't do a bulk status effect. Let's just... Okay. They are horizontal to represent the
They fell over.
They fell over. They shot them a bunch and then they fell over. Okay, so a good chunk of them are dead. But Dirk and Liko are both going to get injured. So Dirk, I think Dirk gets a gash across his stomach. -2. And Liko is going to get one of her arms mangled. The arm that was holding her minigun.
Oh
So-
no!
Yep. Maybe you guys should have helped the nice lady.
Ha! Nice.
Exactly. Nice wear.
You probably should
I'll
have
just
helped
screw up
that
and get
evil,
killed.
awful, terrible, awful person. But
Oh, did you know that she already had the shot in the hand consequence? So I'm gonna need to make that more significant.
Wait, who did?
Liko.
Oh,
Um,
hold on.
yeah, okay, so I'm gonna give her a severe consequence. Yeah, she has a mangled leg. It looks like her leg was like run over by a lawnmower.
Oof.
Oh
Ooh.
my god.
Yeah.
Fatimah's gonna kill me, you guys!
Yeah, maybe you guys should have helped the notion lady to put them all to sleep.
Absolutely.
We're gonna keep driving that home.
Okay, so
Yeah,
That's
mate in the
really
mill.
wrong.
so I think I'm gonna keep doing it in this order. I'm gonna have one of you guys declare what you're doing, and then I will have you roll, and then I will roll to see like how many of them go down, and then I will roll to see how bad of a consequence you suffer.
Okay. Yeah.
Ruda.
Good.
I was gonna have Ruda start with his
Okay.
flamethrower, so go ahead and roll weapon on your flamethrower. It should be under your inventory. Okay, 10 is decent. Plus 6. Yeah. Okay. So I would invoke the fact that it is huge against you, but then you could just invoke Prey, because you definitely have an advantage here. So I'm gonna say that you successfully take out 5 of them, Well, I'll go with 8. I think I'm just gonna take half of the net result is how many you take out. But I'm going to roll. $2d3. Alright, that's a 4. So you're going to take a pretty significant injury in this battle. What kind of injury do you think you take, Ruda?
I think. What do you think about like either like a cut or a broken limb?
So what I'm thinking is, because you were using your flamethrower at the time, I think one of them ruptured the flamethrower while you were using it. So your flamethrower is going to be out of commission until you can repair it, and you're going to have like 2nd-degree burns or 3rd-degree burns like all over your body.
Shit.
So I'm going to give you this severe consequence, covered in burns.
Oh my god.
Rick's just having a fun time punishing us for trying not to do the thing.
She was stopping you guys from having to fight a battle. The entire party made the choice to not fight a battle.
Not the entire party.
Fight this battle.
So Ruda puts on his wrestling mask because he always carries it around with him, and so now that he's like really burned, he's gonna
Fucking Joshua Graham over here.
put on his Sergeant Dead mask.
Is Ruda now like the Burns Bandito?
Oh my god.
El infierno.
Okay. I'll do a mill next. Mate. Mate, are you firing into them at this point?
Yeah, I was actually gonna toss a grenade at the group to the north.
Hell yeah. Do you have a... Is that in your inventory?
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not sure if it's a thing
yeah,
that I
you do.
can roll.
Yep. All other creatures in the zone, including yourself, if applicable, blah 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 blah. Okay. So go ahead and roll weapon on your grenade.
And then what should I roll on that? Is that a shoot?
That's a good question. Sure, call it a shoot. Alright. So that is 12 plus 4 is 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I'm gonna say that you take out the entire crowd to the north. This is between you throwing the grenade and then subsequent shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna see how badly you get hurt in the process. Slash roll 2d3. 5. That's pretty high. Yeah, mate, I can really fuck you up because you're a robot.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah, here's what happens. You get most of them down, but one of them breaks through the ranks and jumps on you and gets one of your arms inside of his mouth, and you have to like blast away at him with your other arm, but when he finally falls down dead, you find that like that arm that he had in his mouth is now just chewed to pieces. So your left arm is gonna be non-functional until you get it repaired.
Okay, so I can't do my dual wield now. That sucks, but okay.
Alright, I'm giving you the consequence mangled left arm. Emil, once you get back to your desk, go ahead and roll. Whatever you want to do.
Oh, am I rolling my shoot?
Sure. If that's what you're doing.
That is probably, and when I'm done this, can we take like 10 seconds for me to do that blending.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, come on.
That was a good roll.
Okay, 11's pretty good. I think you have a pretty high weapon bonus too. Okay, so, with an 11, and your high weapon bonus, and the fact that you have armor penetrating rounds, you're definitely able to take out one of the knights, because that's what you said you were targeting. So I'm going to take him out of the big tank machines.
Yeah, sure.
Not machines. They're like elephants, but with much more tusks, and
I kind of want to make like recon unit to like bounce off the wall. Like I jump up, bounce off the wall, and then like I'm over top of it, and just like.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it's not actually dramatic. It's really subtle. Like you almost didn't notice it, but it just goes down.
Okay. So you got hurt because you landed in the crowd and had to run away from there.
Yeah.
So except I think that it's more appropriate to hurt your recon mech here instead of you yourself. So I think that one of the legs of your mech gets like clawed out by one of the drones. So it's like one of the many not hydraulic pumps, pistons in the leg has been damaged, and so it's still kind of functional, but it's like getting your horse shot out under you. It falls on you.
Can I want to roll a with your permission.
Sure.
I want to roll a hardware, and on a good roll, I needed to replace that one anyway.
Sure.
Like nothing changes.
No,
but
I like that.
It's not.
Hardware 13. You also have an ability called Patch Job that lets you repair damage mid-fight. So I will allow that with those two things together, you are able to get your mech out of the fray for a second, and then hop down, and with just a few tools off of your engineering belt, you can patch it up to the point where it is now like fully functional for the time being.
In the heat of battle, you do just hear like Amel from the other room just going, "Is that all you got? I needed to fix this one anyway."
I forgot to take out the ones that. Okay. Kevin is blending for a second.
You need it.
Go for it. Okay. So I forgot to note the ones that Ruda had taken care of earlier. Roy, you wanted to go for one of the knights. So
Yeah. So
why don't you give me whatever role you want to do?
So Roy is going to use the what is it? I guess it's called a stunt, the free runner stunt, to before the whole flamethrower spray went down, was going to use it to get over to this knight over here. I'm going to use that to get partway, and then use segmented coherence, the segmentation of the laser blade, to whip out at this guy, wrap it around his neck, lasso myself up onto his back, and then use my submachine gun to start firing down into his neck.
Okay. So why don't you give me a melee roll followed by a shoot roll? Melee for hooking him with your sword and then climbing up on him, and then shoot for
Yep.
shooting into him.
Okay. Scrolling up. And here we go. And it didn't happen. Try again. Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
Alright, so that's a
Okay.
pretty good roll with the melee. Let's see the gun.
And the gun. Shoot.
That's a great roll.
Nice.
Booyah.
Forgot that you have a Gatling pistol.
And that I've
Um,
actually, well, yeah, because I increased its barrels.
Yeah. Okay, so those two both are high enough that you not only since it's the night, it would have been harder to take down than most of them, but you did take it down. And let's see. I'm gonna reduce the amount of damage you take because you did very well with that. But it still came up really high.
Mm,
How do you get? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is easy. So you are on top of it as it is falling, and you jump off, but you don't see one of the guys that had gotten killed behind him while you were fighting him, and you trip on that drone's corpse, and you are going to get a twisted ankle, I think. So that's going to be a lighter one, but it feels right.
Okay.
Or what is?
Well, I mean, I did just Johnny Rico this guy, so I
Yeah.
can deal with a twisted ankle, no biggie.
So what's the one where it's like in a normal person it takes like a couple days to fully heal? Is that sprain?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would probably be a sprain.
Okay, sprained ankle. Okay. Sprained ankle. And that is everyone, right? There's
Mhm.
only a few left. Malati is able to cover those as they're closing in on or not Malati, Mesa. Mesa takes care of those with her combat drones. As those last few are closing in on the mages and Liko, who is reloading at the time. So I'll just note that they are down as well. But in the process, one of her mechs gets damaged. So,
Damn, everybody's taking L's all around. I wonder what could have stopped this.
nothing.
Absolutely
Not
not.
a damn thing.
Absolutely nothing.
Undue time.
Yeah, wait, can't Evelyn go back in time?
No, Evelyn can slow down time in certain places and speed up time in certain places.
Flow of time stays the same.
Yeah, I can't travel through time. I can just manipulate it.
Mostly because it would be a nightmare to DM.
Oh yeah, no, I just figured we'd go like
You would have
full
to pick
Umbrella
one of the,
Academy.
Hundreds and hundreds of like systems for like time travel.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys did successfully blast through the remainder, and remember that this was only a quarter of their forces. The other 3/4 of their forces had been taken out by Skria before you guys started the combat. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and just clean up this mess. Delete. And delete. Delete. Okay, so everybody is continuing forward into the Chamber of the Heart, significantly battle worn, but you did just win a huge victory, so pat yourselves on the back. You guys head into the building. I already have the map for this prepared. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and to front, and then GM layer. Okay, and move you guys over here. So you guys are looking at a very vertically aligned nature-y temple with a big crystal at the top, yes?
Yep.
And some blood in it. So
Lots of blood.
I'm gonna go ahead and just grabbing this whole batch here. Over here.
Oh shit, that's so cool.
Oh yeah, so Lindsay and I spent like an hour working on that crystal GIF.
Yeah,
cool.
that crystal
Real?
is
We
really
found a
good.
GIF
Really well done.
online, but the GIF was 180 frames long, and would not have fit on here.
Did you take like just like 6 screenshots and like combine them together?
We deleted all but 18 of the frames. But then GIFs are very hard to work with in Photoshop and other software. Like they just don't like being worked with. So we had to deal with a lot of software logistics. For
This
one.
is goddamn impressive.
Yeah, I also took the thing, the well that it's inside of. I made 2 copies of that image, so there's one copy behind it and one in front. Okay, so that is the heart of Fatimah Rue. You guys head into the building. Can you guys kind of arrange yourselves into how you imagine, Ooh, actually, Before we head in, I want to do one very little thing. A mill. I think that there's a second where you guys are patching up your wounds and everybody's trying to get themselves, back in fighting condition as much as they can before heading in there. Emil, Messa asks if you can help her repair one of her drones because, let me check her sheet. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so Messa is a machinist and a hierophant. How did I forget that? Yes, but she could use another competent engineering hand to patch things up. It's basically just the here, can you, hold this thing while I work on this thing deal.
Fan service!
Can we take a quick small break before we head in?
Yes, you can. I'll wrap up this scene with Emil, but I don't think it will be super relevant to you. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be right
All
back.
right. Go ahead, take a minute. Okay, so
15.
you rolled 15. That's fantastic.
Man, that is a legit roll.
Yeah.
God damn.
Remember those rolls when you
What was that
guys
roll
were
for?
fighting.
Hardware? Shit.
You made it better.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys definitely did improve it. So,
Dude, Jordy
Um,
the Forge on that shit.
let's see. I gotta see mechanical ground vehicles. Do I have a? Oh yeah, here we go. You make it slightly larger, and now it's red. That means it's better.
That means it moves
Okay.
faster.
Yeah. Okay, so that covers the Emil and Mesa interaction. Does anybody else have anything in particular they want to do before you head into the building itself to get ready?
I don't think so.
Are we going to the right? Is that where the building is, or toward the crystal?
I currently have you guys inside the building.
Okay, got it.
I just want to like step back a second and make sure everybody's right. Okay, so you guys are heading inside. What happened with Liko? Did she like get an arm severed? Oh no, she got her foot mangled.
Yeah, and she got the mangled limb.
Yeah, classic. She's got a hole in one hand. Oh. This is good.
So Liko's picking the dead skin off of Ruda, and Ruda is helping Liko make an artificial limb so that she can at least like hobble like a pirate for the next battle.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't think that Ruda is necessarily up for doing, like, cyber, God damn it, what's the
Oh
word?
no,
Like,
it's shoddy as hell. It's not
Cybernetics.
technology driven at
Yeah.
all. He like found a bone or something in the last room, and he's like, bro, just use this.
Chop one of the legs off of one of the Xenosians and kind of duct tape it to her. Oh, gross.
It's like, bro, you can, you can totally use this.
Yeah, so, Liko thanks you for that, but, actually, Brad is going to be, spotting her. He's kind of holding her up as the two walk down. I've given Brad no characterization whatsoever thus far, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that, since they're both, Fawnians and they kind of look together, or they kind of look similar, I'm gonna say they're siblings. So, is Evelyn back? No.
I am here.
Yes, she's back, witnessing the cheese feed.
Do you want to... Do you want to do anything before we head into this building and do the final confrontation?
I think I just want to check in with Anwar real quick and make sure he's still doing okay.
Do you also check in with Liko?
Well, yes.
Okay,
well,
good. I'm just
okay,
As an
there's-
afterthought.
There's
if
two
you-
things.
If
Like,
your best friend's girlfriend is sitting there with a mangled leg and you walk over to your crush and you're like,
Zenothan
"Hey, are you
leg.
doing alright?" That's pretty fucked.
yeah, no, of course. Just because, like, I already slightly commented on it back when it happened, but, like, Evelyn's
Yeah, no,
probably freaking out.
Okay, so you get, you and Liko have a moment together, and then you check on Anwar, and he smiles back at you and lets you know, like, yeah, I'm doing better. The excitement was good for me, I think. Bad for everyone else, but, good for me. And it's that kind of like the way that introverts are like, yeah, I'm actually doing pretty well in Corona season. It's roughly that. I'm doing pretty well right now. Okay. You guys head into the temple. It looks roughly like I have placed here. This is not fresh blood. There is a handful of elfin corpses here, and you get the impression that back when the assault happened, they tried to make a stand outside of in this temple. Notably, this temple, much like Dion's house, is not covered with Zenosian guck. It's very pristine and nature covered, and ignore these well, we can say that this got broken during the battle. It looks like for some reason the Zenosian paint is not able to touch here. And so this place is still pristine and intact. Can you kind of did you guys already arrange your characters a little bit? Do you have an idea how you want what you want your marching order to be?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna move mate real quick.
Sure.
I'm up in front with Roy. Because Ruda's pissed.
Okay.
Everyone can stick with me.
Yeah,
Can Anwar come with us?
Actually, yes, I was about to say that. Anwar's kind of a rogue archetype, as opposed to Maladi, who's much more paladin cleric. So, got all those people. Brad is supporting Liko, and Liko's gun is busted, so the two of them are mostly going to hang back, and Dirk, I think Dirk will go up with these guys, and then Mesa will provide background support. Emil, are you going to be in a sniping position, or?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going. Mate, Avalon, and Anwar are going up on the left balcony, and it looks like they're going to be kind of approaching to get an aerial view.
Roy is actually going to move onto the top of this thing. He's owling up there.
Sure. Are you now? I imagine that it would be hard to parkour up there with a sprained ankle.
Yeah, he moved very carefully and slowly up there. That was just it's a observation position, not like
Sure.
I'm launching into action from this position.
I like it. All right, so I will make a note that Emil is over here. This is a place that you could fit your mech inside of, but it's going to be if you're looking for sniping, you'll probably do better staying out of sight if you are just
I'm leaving the mech on the bottom floor, and I'm going up to a sniper position.
Okay.
But I want to leave it in front of the sniper position.
Oh,
So
interesting.
if I jump down off the rafters, I can jump straight into the mech.
Oh, cool. Okay, then I'm gonna position it here.
Yes.
And you here. Okay, so there is exactly one person here when you guys head in. There is clearly an elfin man. He's got the signature forearms and a tail and horns. He's got deep blue skin, and he is staring at the crystal and running his hand over this well that it is sitting inside of, and he doesn't seem to have noticed you yet.
Can I shoot him in the head?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm just going for it.
sure.
what
Wait, why?
is this within your character?
whoa,
to do that,
wait,
Joe?
this is
Like,
Aelfin,
you're just
right?
shooting
this is
somebody
not-
there.
Wait,
This is not a Zenosian. This is an
Oh,
alien.
oh, I
Which is the
thought this
kind
was
of
the.
person that Ruda and
Yeah, nah, this is
Never
dude.
mind. Never mind.
That's why I was like, damn, yo just went full Sobek for no reason.
Turn into the fucking DC sniper.
Gee.
No, motherfucker.
too soon, but
John
Hey guys, I have an
Alcon.
idea. We get a car.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Okay. So, does anybody, once you guys have headed inside and gotten settled, you notice this guy standing there. He's on the other side of the room, so he was not making a lot of noise or anything, so he wasn't super noticeable when you first came in. What do you guys do now that you've spotted him?
Rude is
Can
gonna
I
try
see
to-
anything with my eye?
Oh, with your magic eye?
Yeah.
Alright, so Ruda, I'll get to you in just a second.
Okay.
Evelyn, Okay, so when you look with your magic eye, each person's warp shadow kind of looks like a skeletal version of that person made out of light. Rory's warp shadow seems to be like weirdly pixelated and geometric. Anwar, Maladi, and Ruda all have very crisp, distinct warp shadows. Like it almost looks exactly like their person, because the Aelfin have the soul stones that make them very close to the warp. Notably, inside of this building, you don't have the... Everywhere else that you've been that had that infestation, it was like there was a fog in the warp that was obscuring your vision. In here, it's like you can see clearly at last. You had the same thing when you were in Anwar's house. However, the man up by the crystal, it's almost hard to tell because the crystal itself is just exploding with light. It's so bright. But if you look carefully, you can see that the man himself does not actually have a warp shadow.
I'm on the fence about whether I should have shot him in the head or not.
I mean, it's pretty suspicious, if nothing else.
It might warrant a preemptive like headshot.
I would think that before we do anything, Roy would cast Divine Light over
On?
this whole area. Well, the area around.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
giving you guys some blessing. Oh, almost forgot we had that. It's been so long.
Yup.
All right. So let me go ahead and I'm going to map layer, pencil, blue lines. Okay, so
The bubble is gone. It's been gone for a while since that battle that we just did with all those people outside this room.
okay, so I'm drawing in the zone designations. Let's see. That. Oh my god, drawing with a mouse is the worst. Oh my god, I hate drawing with a mouse.
So there's 3. It looks like Divine Light can do. It can do Blessed, Consecrated, or Burning with Divine Light.
The burning with divine light is specific to demons.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just go with Blessed.
Okay.
Wait, so
So-
you casted Divine Light and it burned him?
No. I could have 3 effects with Divine
Oh,
Divine
okay.
Scion ability. Either Blessed, Consecrated, or Burning with Divine Light.
Got it.
I'm pretty sure consecrated does the same thing as blessed, but over an area as opposed to over a person.
Okay, so I guess I would be consecrating this area.
Mm-hmm. So you're only going
So
to be
this-
able to do one zone at a time, and
Mm-hmm.
as you do it, there's a chance that he will notice. So, do you want to pick one zone to start consecrating, or would you rather bless individuals?
So let's see. Consecrating is. Hold on 1 second.
Either way, it
Enhances
just
luck
creates
and
an
physical.
advantage.
Say again.
Either way, it just creates a persistent advantage they can use.
And I can use this more than once in battle. So I'm going to consecrate or bless the 3 closest. So that would be myself, Amil, and who else is closest? Ruda. Ruda, because Ruda is busted right now.
Okay. Okay, so...
Blessings upon you, burned man.
Well, thank you, robot.
I'm not a
alright,
robot.
Giving
Ruda
you
doesn't.
guys a roll.
I feel like I just delivered that like Janet from The Good Place. I'm not a girl.
I also that has to be a legit interaction. That has to be
Oh, yeah.
real.
Sure, that's fine. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted that one.
It's canon now.
Oh. Hate drawing with a mouse. Okay,
John Madden.
so you guys have a good sense for the zone layout of this area, correct?
Yeah, that's decent.
Okay. Roy, you start doing divine light, and every time you do it, there's a flash of light, and I also think that there's a little bit of a like you know the sound effect that you associate with heal spells in JRPGs?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of that.
Isn't the room already filled with light though? From the crystal?
Avalyn was looking in the warp and saw just like it was like looking at the sun, looking at that crystal.
Oh, okay.
In the building itself, it is well illuminated. Most of that illumination comes from these little bulbs that are growing off of these branches and roots all around the room, and these bulbs are almost like light bulbs. They give a soft, gentle light. The crystal is letting off a fair amount of visual light that is keeping the room pretty bright too. So it is a well lit room, but it is like it's like a camera flash every time you do this spell, so it is noticeable. And as you start casting it, the man turns around and is going to yeah, so he's going to start walking forward to coming towards you guys. I think he's not going to shout across the room. Does anybody else want to do anything now that he's clearly noticed you guys?
Yeah, Ruda's gonna try to talk to him in Elfin, although his Elfin is super rusty. Or at least his old Elfin is.
Okay. Yeah, so this man he walks straight down this like there's this like pond water pool thing that surrounds the crystal and then comes down in 2 terraces from there and then joins a stream. He just hops down from one ledge to the next. He's surprisingly agile for a man of his apparent age. You also know that it is hard to get to a point where you look old as an elfin. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, there's weird vibes coming from this guy.
And he's just walking straight through the pool towards you. Are you going to go into the pool to get up to him, or are you just shouting at him?
Yeah, so I'm like walking slowly toward him, but I'm like, hey, hold on, bro. Slow down a second. What's all this blood? Who are you? Give us that crystal.
Bobby.
We came for the crystal. We don't want any trouble. We just came for the crystal.
I think he chuckles and he says, "Oh, haven't we all? Tell me about it." You asked who I was? I am, well, I was named Dion. And you?
Here's the thing. Shit. The second I hear I was Dion in the past tense, I shoot him.
Okay, yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh man, yo, just real quick, just Anwar's not gonna be happy about that.
Yeah, no, like Ruda was like gonna fucking walk up to him and shake his hand, and be like, "Bro, can we spar?"
And it's a blessed bullet too.
Can Evelyn intercept that bullet?
You're gonna go up and take his hand, and it's going to like
body hand goes flying.
It's gonna body morph into like a tentacle and kill you.
Yeah, but well.
Oh damn! 12.
Shot him.
Damn, I rolled really well.
That hits. I'm trying to see.
Ruda just like turns to Emil and gives him like a really stern look.
That's it.
I'm just going to. Emil is just going to like have on his little like gooey face like the shruggy emoji.
Okay. So you have a weapon rating of 5 too, so that's 17. That's a lot.
And his bullet was blessed, so whatever this guy is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the blessing itself does not.
Guys, what he was about to say.
Emil, would you like to cash in your blessing? You get 1 free use, and then you can spend further uses. Okay, that's fantastic. So,
Emil, all he was gonna say was, "I used to be Dion, but now I sell cars." Shot him before he was able to.
Classic. Yeah. Anyway, so as your bullet goes through his head, you do see like a splatter of matter, but it's not the pinkish bloody matter that you expect with brain matter. And as soon as
does it give me a very notion? I get the kind of like notion, the notion.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that vibe. And his head obviously like flaps to the side with the damage. And then he slowly starts lifting it back up, and you can see there's a chunk out of his head where this solid bullet went through it, and it starts repairing itself.
Oh god.
You also see several extra limbs start growing off of him that are, nice, creepy Xenocian limbs. And if anybody who has not yet, you should just scroll in on that sprite, because that sprite is like pretty much custom made, and I'm very proud of this sprite. It's a fucking good sprite.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of vibes off
The
this.
actual character does though.
Loving the soundtrack too, man. The soundtrack
Oh,
is
right.
perfect.
So I guess that Ruda will get to talk to him.
Ruda, do you have a response as this happens?
Ruda's like, "What the fuck?" and then grabs his sword.
Okay, so yeah, he's definitely gonna lunge at you first because you, reached for your sword.
Yeah, Ruda's
So
taking
why
back, not to take it. He was also raised for this.
Yeah,
He was a little taken aback.
You're also blessed right now, Ruda, remember. So you have luck.
He's tough as
Okay.
hell.
Ruda, you roll attack. I'm gonna have him roll defense.
Yeah, you have increased luck and increased physical capacity.
Did you see this, Bryn?
I did.
Nice.
Okay, so you do damage, but not a
Do I
huge
do
amount
any
of damage.
shifts of damage to him?
Oh, so yes, you did a lot of damage to him. I'll go ahead and so what did you do? You rolled 12 plus 5, so 17.
Yes.
How do we account for the increased physical capacity from the divine light?
It's just an aspect.
Okay.
Pretty much everything in this game is an aspect, unless it says otherwise. But Ruda, would you like to cash in your aspect for an additional bonus?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's going to put you up to 14 plus 7. So you're going to do 5 shifts of damage on him, which is meaningful. I think that you get like, you get like a chunk of carapace coming off as you slash at him. You did roll. You did roll close enough for him to counterattack. So I'm going to have him counterattack at you. He's got a. And Morgan, remember you have those special abilities you can use that like some augmentations with your arms and stuff like that. Oof. Okay, that's not great. Ruda. Okay, so that was his counterattack and it missed. So, I mean, Ruda, roll defense. I will be impressed if you roll less than an 8.
If I roll a defense, what do I roll? Just a regular skill roll?
Yeah, it's you should have armor, which is an item that you can roll on. You can roll with acrobatics or with melee.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so it does. Oh, it actually does. You're going to take 3 shifts of damage, which is not a lot, but I'm gonna go ahead and note it down anyway. I updated your character sheet, so you don't need to worry about it. Okay. Who wants to go next?
I think Roy would go next. That would be the most reasonable one.
Real quick, before you go, Roy, is there any way we can resolve Anwar seeing his mentor turn kind of into a monster?
Yeah, okay, no, I'm glad that you mentioned that because that is a scene that needs to happen. So he runs across the balcony here. He's not at the same level with him, but he shouts down, and he says like, Dion, what the fuck? What the fuck? And yeah, I think he starts.
Is he saying that to me shooting him in the head, or
he's
his,
saying that to his
old
mentor
mentor
being alive and being a Xenosian thingy. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, because Mike, I'm really glad that you reminded me to address this. After every turn, I'm gonna have a little snippet of interaction between them. So,
Yay!
Oh, cool.
All right. Roy,
Cool
what do you
beans.
think?
So, seeing the Xenosian thing that this was just turned into, and realizing that Ruda is there directly in front of him and in the same zone, Roy sees this as an opportunity to attack rather than defend. Operation Get Behind the Ruda. He just lashes out with segmented coherence, not moving. And so, do I get just one attack or do I get 2 attacks?
You one attack.
Okay.
And then we'll see how he does on defense.
And scrolling. Weapons.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, so yeah,
Damn
he successfully
That's
defended.
strong.
And then because you rolled because he won a defense in at point blank range in melee, he gets to counterattack.
We're not at point blank range though. I use segmented coherence to reach over to him, but we're in the same zone, so does that count as point blank?
You are in the same zone, yes. So he needs to move over to you, but it's the turns here are not like in D&D where it's a solid like the same time period every turn. It's you've attacked him, and so he's going to like jump up on this banister and then like tackle you. So he's rolling 4, and then I think I did. Let me make sure I'm consistent with my rolls. Okay. Roll defense.
How do I roll defense?
You should have an item in your inventory that's like a defensive kind of item.
Item. So like my gear, like
Yeah.
Okay. Armored cloak, I guess. What defense skill should I pick? I guess I would pick acrobatics because I just cast
Acrobatics or melee are the two traditional responses. You could also use resolve if you wanted to try to block his attack with divine light.
Hold on a second, just reading my abilities. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with acrobatics.
Okay.
Make sure I have the good skill there. Yeah. Oh, whoops! That was not. That was the one.
Flippy boy.
There's the one. The second one. The first one I just accidentally clicked the roll in the character sheet.
So, 13. Yep, you dodge. I'm not going to say effortlessly because your leg gives out on you while you're trying to roll to the side. So I'm giving you 1 fate point, +1, to pay you for using your aspect. But you do successfully roll out of the way, and he splashes into the water, letting up a pool of water in his wake. And as he climbs to his feet, I think he says, Anwar, my boy, it's good to see you. I should never thought I'd see you again. It's been too long. And it's somebody else's turn.
Oh boy.
Mate Evelyn, do either of you want to go?
Yeah, if Evelyn, you don't want to go do the stone thing yet?
No, I think I'm gonna go for it. At least start.
Okay.
Do I have the mental capacity to dive right now, or is that too much?
To teleport?
No, to dive, where I go into a coma and then I'm basically traveling around the warp area of this space.
I forgot you could do that. It's so good.
So cool.
Yes, you can. You're going to have a slightly harder time getting back to your body than you normally would, but it's not enough for it to be like an unreasonable risk. So Evelyn is unconscious. Where's your ghost going?
She just falls out.
Well, it's funny because thinking about it, since I was standing right there with Mate, I think that Evelyn would look at him and be like, "Hey, Mate, have you ever heard of a trust fall?" But then she just comas out and falls without falling into him. And Mate's probably just sitting there like, "I don't know what's happening."
It's like I tried to catch you, but I only had one hand.
Oh, you're right. But yeah, I'm heading for the crystal.
Okay, do you like this nice specter that I made for you?
It's so wonderful.
Okay. So, you are able to move to the crystal easily. Space is very malleable in the warp. So you get right up to the crystal. Um, it's very bright, and you can sense that there are a ton of souls inside. Do you attempt to touch it?
Yes.
Okay, so as you attempt to make contact with it, you can feel that there is a like barrier between you and the souls. Can you roll? Do we have a history skill? Academics.
Would this be academics or occult?
Nope. Oh, roll occult since you have a higher occult than education.
I'm just all about the tens today.
Tens are good. Okay, so what you know is that the Aelfin, you remember this after going to touch it because it sparks a memory. The reason that Aelfin soul stones are a thing, according to lore, is that the Aelfins needed a way to because they had angered essentially all of demonkind, they needed a way to keep their souls safe from demons upon death, because the demons kind of have a vendetta against Aelfin. And Aelfin soul stones allow them a like safe way to store their soul partially in the material realm, so creatures of the warp can't fuck with them. Which means, in this particular case, you would be better off interacting with it in the physical world than in the warp, because you're kind of doing the thing that this was designed to protect against.
Oh damn.
Oh.
You want to head back to your body?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a very smart idea. Okay, so Evelyn is back at her body, and Anwar is shouting down at his mentor, I thought you were dead. We all thought you were dead. And he shouts back, I know, I saw that you made my house into a holy ground. How very kind of you. But no, I've been around. And next person's turn. Evelyn has gone. Has Mate gone?
No, I haven't. And is he any kind of mechanical, or is he fully organic?
Fully organic.
Fully organic. Okay. I would like to try to shoot, but listening to Anwar and Dion speak, I don't want to hurt him, so I'd like to shoot to disable.
Okay. Duly noted. Go ahead and roll with your Magnum. You can't do dual wield, so you don't get any of those bonuses.
Boy, howdy, I really didn't want to shoot him.
Yeah. Actually, hold on. Let me see what you rolled. Hey, that's a pair of ones. This has not come up yet thus far in the game, to my knowledge. But because your weapon is, it's possible I don't have this aspect written down yet on your weapon. If so, I need to get it on there. Let's see. So you are using a coil magnum. Oh, that doesn't have the aspect single fire. Okay. Well, then never mind.
Yeah,
Some weapons, if you roll low enough, they, Yeah, I'm actually gonna say, I think that this is just going to be a universal rule. Anybody who rolls, double ones or a 1 and a 2 on a roll with pretty much any firearm, you fuck up the, reload. Essentially, normally it is assumed that you are re-rolling or reloading between turns. Just in the natural flow of combat, you're ducking behind cover, you're moving from place to place, you're doing a lot of things. And in there, we're assuming that you are doing your own ammo management rather than making the players have to have a fucking spreadsheet of which bullets they've used. And the way that we handle the need to reload is if you roll bad on your shoot, it means you did not pay attention to your gun well enough and you like miscounted your bullets, and now you're going to need to spend extra time reloading because you like fucked up your rhythm. So next turn you're going to have to spend the turn reloading if you want to use your gun again. So I'm giving you a little weapon marker there to remind myself. You shoot several times. He flits behind this column and avoids them easily, and then you lose track as you're trying to aim for his limbs and accidentally end up shooting more than you expected to, and now you're gonna have to spend some time reloading. As he does, I think he hops back up on this pillar and he shouts back to Anwar that he never died on that planet. They took him and he's been working with them ever since. And that's as much as we get for this turn. Who wants to go
Wait.
next?
I don't think I went last turn.
You went by shooting him in the head.
Oh, that was the first round. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it is the top of the second round. Emil, you can go if you want. Otherwise, it's the top of the round, so anyone can go.
I'm going to just spend my whole turn jumping down into my mech.
Okay. Duly noted, you are in your mech.
Ruda would like to blast the fuck out of him with his auto spine launcher.
Sure. Do you want to take a step out of the area? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, guns are
get on
kind
dry
of
land.
dangerous to use at point blank.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna get on dry, like right there. That's cool.
Sure.
And I'm going full auto with this.
Yep, go full auto, and then... I'm
God damn it!
passing the rules back out to you, just in case. Yeah, so were you doing burst fire or empty the clip?
Empty the clip.
Okay. So you... I mean, I'll go ahead and roll defense for him.
I'd like to spend a fate point to re-roll that shit.
Fuck yeah, go for it. I'm gonna need to know what you're invoking for that, though.
Honestly, like he's like really motivated by, like, he always wants to kill the enemy of his people. So
Sure, yeah, that's
like
fantastic.
this is the enemy of his people, and like this time it's personal.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and re-roll.
God damn it!
My dude!
Once again, we really don't want to shoot this dude.
Mein Gott.
Fuck. He's like really, I guess, not in the right mindset.
I think that
he's very burned.
too emotionally invested.
He's extremely emotional, and he's very burned. Maybe he's hallucinating a little bit because he's so burned.
Okay. I have to roll to see whether he avoids your attack or not. He does. He cannot counterattack because you are not in melee. And I'm gonna have Anwar go next. And So let me check the rules on movement. You can move into an adjacent for free. If you hustle, you can move across. You'll just suffer a -2. Okay, so Anwar is... Yeah, he jumps down, sprints across this area, and is going to jump up on his mentor and try to start like cutting at his Venusian limbs and stuff like that while with his combat knife.
Oh shit. I need to take 60 seconds to feed Malik before he goes insane. Be right back.
Okay.
Come on, fat boy.
Fat boy.
That's cute. I like that a lot.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Okay, so...
Just picturing that cat with
one, Anakin.
like, huge amount of fangs. Like, he's got those, like, vampire fangs. I love it. I'm just picturing that.
Okay, so Anwar rolls, this guy rolls. Oh, Anwar hit.
Oh, look at Anwar, actually motivated.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to...
Did you ever apply the shifts I initially did by shooting him in the head?
Yeah, he's at -22.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he has, -3. So as he's grappling him, the two of them, Anwar is shouting at him, and you can hear Dion responding, but you guys are having trouble making out the noise. Can someone go?
Is anyone else at the bottom of our party doing anything like his Melody in particular?
I was going to have Melody go next. After one of the players goes.
Okay, yeah. Can I actually go then? I have a move. Yeah,
Oh,
so I definitely want to move up.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I think I messed your guy. Do you want to move to the next zone so you're here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use one of my abilities for combat reload. And
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
hey, welcome back. Because I realized that I was trying to immobilize him, but I didn't have my cryo rounds loaded. So I'm kind of like mad at myself for not thinking about that before. And I'd like to load up with cryo rounds and give him another shot.
Okay, that's fantastic. Alright, so you can use this after this, but you need to spend fate points on any subsequent uses. You are using cryo rounds, that is duly noted. Go ahead and roll attack. Okay, so let's see how he defends. Oh, shit.
He is on something.
God damn, yeah.
Christ.
Well, that was a pair of 6s, but
Whoa.
yeah, I mean,
Can I beat that with fate points?
if you got 2 fate points in there, then you would be tied. Would you do some damage, because if you were tied, then your shifts outweigh his shifts. Your attack outweighs his defense once it hits. But if you can get 3 fate points, if you can come up with 3 reasons that you have an advantage over him, then you'll have a solid hit there. I can give you cryo rounds up front, definitely. Can you come up with one? I mean, just looking at your weapon, I can see another one that's easy.
Yeah, I was thinking. Let's see. Man, could I use my charms?
So you've got enchanted grip on there, so that's definitely.
Oh yeah, that would definitely help too.
Yeah, I think those are the same thing basically. So, in this case, I think
Enchanted grip makes a lot more sense.
other,
Will he
but
get a buff if I shout encouraging words to him?
yeah, if you wanna, like, sure. Why don't you just go ahead and do that, and then we'll. Yeah, go ahead. Roll.
Yeah, because I really just want to make sure that Anwar's okay.
Persuasion? Is that the word that I'm looking for? Yeah. No. Diplomacy. Roll diplomacy.
Oh.
Or, I mean, I don't think guile would be it. Perception, intuition. I would accept intuition if you gave me a lot of bullshit about why. Yeah, I think it's diplomacy
I
or
could
guile.
use genius at work to roll for intuition instead, and my argument would be
Oh,
just that because Mate and Avalon have spent a lot of time together and usually are the only ones that exchange texts back and forth, I would probably think that Avalon has a good idea of what she would need to say to really encourage Mate,
Fantastic.
even though he doesn't feel those, like, specific emotions, if that makes sense.
roll intuition.
And I have to spend Fate for that, right?
I think so.
Okay.
10 is good enough to give him a bonus. So, Mate, you're looking at a +6 bonus on top of your roll, so that's going to put your roll up to a 17. And then when you add in attacks and defense, that gives you 4 shifts of damage, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this guy is significantly injured. Yeah, okay. This is what's gonna happen with in the off turn. I think you hear Melody say, like, "Get off my brother, you old bastard!" And she jumps up and she gets behind him and loops her staff around his neck, or at least that's what she's attempting to do. So let's go ahead and roll. Yep, and she does not succeed, and he's going to get a counterattack. So, since we're not particularly concerned about her health, I'm just going to. Come on. Oh,
Shit's
okay.
got me feeling like Space Conan.
Yeah, so he shrugs her off, and she goes flying to the ground into the puddle. Pond? Cool. Too many P words that have to do with bodies of water.
Puddle, pool, pond.
Pacific Ocean.
Peninsula.
Valid.
Okay. Who wants to go next? Roy, do you have something you want to do this turn?
Yeah. So I had a question first. What is this guy like physical? What is it? Is he standing or is he floating? And does he have tentacles? And if so, how many?
Okay, so he has he has 4 arms, which is the normal amount for Aelfin, but each of his arms has like Xenocian exoplating around it. And he has a pair of wings, which he is not using except to slap away people like Melody that try to jump up on him. He has Anwar clinging to one of his shoulders and stabbing at him. And he has a plethora of tentacles underneath him, which he is using to hold himself up from the ground. Well, in this case, they are wrapped around this column underneath him and suspending him from that.
Okay. So I think Roy would stay in the same zone again and probably not a poem, but say under his breath something like, "Be still, cancerous elf," and cast hard light object in the form of shackles that project around his wings and his arms and as much of his legs or leg tentacles as he can. And I'm pretty sure that since this is more complex than just a simple object, I would need to roll resolve.
Yeah.
If that works for the DM.
Fantastic. Love it.
Word.
All right, yep, that's good enough for me. Let's give him there we go. Giving him a little cancel symbol to show that he is shackled. Okay,
Gotta put him in the clamps.
Ruda has gone. Mate has gone. Evelyn, you haven't done a second turn yet, have you?
I don't think so. I don't think I've done anything since getting back to my body.
I mean, you did
You shouted for me, and that was great.
Yeah.
but I'm not counting that. What do you do?
I think I want to take advantage of the fact that Dion seems to be slightly distracted with Anwar hanging off of him.
He is.
And I want to jump in and grab the opposite arm that Anwar has to like try and further restrict his movement. But then while holding onto that arm, I want to start karate kicking into his back with the aim of breaking that arm.
Damn, he's already shackled.
I don't care. He's got too many arms. We got to do something about this.
He has the normal number of arms. I want that to be
Fair
stated.
enough, then. Yeah.
4 arms, but still, that's too much. Fucking Goro out here.
He does have 2 wings as well, which is
Yeah, do you hate his wings too?
Yes.
I did, yeah.
Yep. Okay. So you guys have him on either side. Go ahead and let me see. Hold on. I swear you have like a special weapon for your
Chicken legs.
sound fucking so good.
Aren't they like recurved like a deer or something like that? Or
Yeah, the little spring legs. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll roll attack with your kicking legs. Oh,
oh no.
I mean,
Good
you
thing he
did
shot.
roll. Yeah,
He's immobilized.
he is immobilized. Okay, so you can cash in his immobilization to either give a reroll or a bonus or a penalty to either of you, and then you can cash in other things as well. got a 9. That's not quite good enough to justify a reroll usually. You have a 4, which is probably good enough to justify a reroll. Yeah. Evelyn, do you want to start by just re-rolling your roll, and then we'll do bonuses from there?
Yeah, I'll just re-roll. Kicking legs, right?
Uh-huh. That is better. That's as much as you would have gotten with a bonus, so it paid off. Yeah, if you could come up with two things to spend fate points on, 2 aspects, then you would win, and you could opt to give him a aspect instead of do damage, which would probably make more sense at this point.
Can I invoke both the fact that he is shackled and that...
I mean, you've got martial arts on your legs. That's a starting point.
And for Evelyn, I think it's also about the fact that she's fighting side by side with Anwar, and she really wants to do this to help him with like what's going on. So maybe that just gives her legs a little extra oomph.
The anime aspect.
Yeah, that's very good. Okay. I'm going to give you an aspect that you're playing here because you have used an aspect, so it has to be noted.
I
I'm
invoke the
losing 2
aspects
fate
of
points for
what's
this,
in
though, right?
I'm pretty sure this aspect is let me know what you feel here, Aeneas, but I'm pretty sure the aspect has to be I don't want anything to happen to my very good friend.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Anwar.
Anwar.
Yeah, basically. Like, it's very on brand for Evelyn. You said that's an aspect for me, right?
Yep.
And I'm losing 2 fate points for that, right? Altogether?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Okay. Alright, so you've had training in using your specialized combat legs. And also you have you're legitimately very angry at this person because of what Anwar is going through. And yeah, I think you successfully I'm gonna say you damage the limb that you're kicking at, and he lets out a howl of pain, so he's gonna have the aspect injured. He is now bound and injured, and I think I'm going to... I think this is about right. Yeah, Anwar pushes this guy off of here, and he's going to stab at him as he falls on top of him. Let's see what happens. For... okay, and he's going to invoke both of those aspects that you guys have. Normally I don't like to have NPCs fight NPCs because I don't like talking to myself. But you guys have set him up very well, and yeah, I think as he pins Dion on the ground and lands with driving his knife into the base of Dion's neck as he falls, the old elfin man smiles up at him and chuckles, and he gives a raggedy sound that would be a chuckle if he was able to pass air through his throat. And it looks like he's trying to say one last line, but he can't quite get it out. And his eyes fade to dark, and Anwar climbs off of him. I feel like this is an appropriate time for a very sad da 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 da. We need the final victory music, but in like a minor key.
As everybody just like hobbles away because they're so injured.
Yeah, everyone's real fucking in a bad place right now. You're glad I forgot about all y'all's injuries because
I remembered I had one hand. I let Evelyn fall to the ground.
Yeah, if I hadn't rolled really well, then I would have gotten fucked up when you tried to tackle me off
You're
the arch.
right. You did. Okay, I did actually take most of them into consideration.
I only have found the Final Fantasy Prelude in a minor key.
Oh.
I know.
So
I switched to a sad track. It's sad now.
Okay.
I want to wrap this up before we head out. So everyone is breathing heavy. The back ranks are all closing in, and Anwar wipes blood off of his face, and he says, "All right, there's a lot to process here, but that'll have to come later. Melody, let's finish this thing."
Amel kind of wants to do something
Sure.
that I've been mulling this over in my head about whether I wanted to do this, but do you remember that blue orb that I like vomited up?
Yeah, the poison.
Yeah, the bit of radioactive material. I don't know if this is like shitty or not, but like, do you know that little larva thing that we have?
Yeah.
Can I just slip it in there as just like a big final like FU, like they get the larva back and it will seem fine, but then like 2 weeks later after we're like long gone, it like kicks it. Big final last middle finger to the Xenocians.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna do that.
It is a little bit infanticidal, but it seems appropriate.
Amil, after seeing what the Xenocians just do to every life that it touches in the life of Dion, it's just kind of like, nope, fuck them. Yep,
Yeah,
fuck them.
That's perfectly fair. Yes, he does.
Wow.
Okay. Who wants to go up? Who wants to go up to the altar with Melody and Anwar?
Me.
Okay. All right. So the three of you get up there. I assume the rest of you are regrouping and assessing the situation while they figure out what's happening. And Avalon, so Anwar says, "All right, sister, we've come all this way. Let's see what you have planned. How the fuck are we getting this big thing out of here?" And Melody rubs her hair for a second, and she looks pensive, and then you see her, she takes off her backpack, and she starts pulling things out of it, and she pulls out a crystal and sets it on this this like nook here, and it quickly fills up with light, and then she puts it back in her bag, and she repeats this maybe like a dozen times over the next minute or two while other things are happening. And notably, the light is not noticeably fading from the heart. And Anwar takes a second, and he's kind of like looking at the thing, and then looking at what she's doing, and then looking at the thing, and then looking at what she's doing. And he says, "Oh, you motherfucker. You didn't come for the whole stone, did you? You're just getting a handful of people out of here." And there's a moment of silence, and then Melody says, "Yeah. Evelyn, does anybody else have any interaction before I continue talking to myself?"
Wait a second.
Yep.
How big is this soul stone actually? Is it actual size in comparison to this, like 8 feet tall, like 6 feet across?
Yeah, like 10 feet tall, maybe.
10
6
feet tall,
across.
maybe. How much?
Probably weighs several tons.
Several tons.
I mean, yeah, it's solid stone the size of like somewhere between a motorcycle and a sedan.
Could the mech?
Would either of
carry
our
it?
mechs be able to pick it up?
Your mech definitely wouldn't.
Well,
be
not
able-
my mech, because it's a recon mech, but I was thinking Ruda.
Ruda's
Yeah.
mech is in the
Back
woods.
is in
and
the
you
She's in the
are
woods,
over
and she's
here.
injured.
Can I
Andrew is
teleport it?
injured.
Well, how? What
we
was
could move it
exactly the process that Melody did? Could we give them more time to do the process more?
So each Anwar can answer this. I think Melody knows that what she's doing is shitty and is trying to just get it done, and not really responding to questions. Anwar tells you each of the stones she's using are not quite individual soul stones, but they're able to hold maybe a dozen souls each. So she's going to be able to rescue a few hundred souls that she has deemed, important. But she's going to leave the billions or trillions of souls that are left in this stone behind.
And there's nothing we can do about it.
Your mech will not be able to carry it.
What about anti-gravity?
Jagara would. Jagara, even if you could get her in here, is too injured to carry it.
Is there a way that we can give all of our soul energy to Avalon to use to teleport it?
Now that's okay. See, because I felt like
Yeah, I want to know if I can tap into the stone to try and do something as well. Like, could I borrow that energy to move it?
Well,
Without taking it.
is the problem just that it's heavy, or can it just not be moved out of the area that it's in because it's too big to move out of the area that it's in?
both. It's the core problem is that it's too heavy. And
Because we have an anti-gravity platform. We could tether it to that and move it
Your
that way.
anti-gravity platform has an upper limit, in the same way that like helicopters have an upper limit to what they can lift.
Okay, real talk. I will take my mech. Okay? I'll take the power source from my mech and dump all of the power. I will like jerry rig something to dump all the power of my mech into the anti-grav platform, and we like get a few bungee cords and we just like bungee cord it onto the platform.
Yeah, it's difficult, but
Okay, that has potential. If we're going to go about it from a mechanical solution like that, that's gonna be a whole other conversation. Aeneas, you wanted to try teleporting it?
If I can, if the group doesn't want to just take it out on a dolly.
So here's the
I don't know how much Roy would be cool with giving away any of his what he believes is a very limited life.
Right. So here's the deal. You can attempt to teleport it. You've teleported things maybe a third this size in the past and injured yourself in the process.
Wait a second though, didn't she teleport trucks?
No.
Oh.
She only
I
teleported.
teleported out of the truck.
Yeah, she said bye.
So,
a
she
strange
did
place.
earlier today teleport 3 or 4 people at once. However, she injured herself in doing so. So, Evelyn, if you want to do this, you are already mentally injured from taxing yourself trying to do a similar thing earlier, and this is going to be the hardest thing you've ever teleported. It's your choice. I'm going to say, if you attempt it, you probably will be able to do it, but there will be
I'm gonna
a
pass out,
permanent
aren't I?
cost of some type.
Permanent consequence. Oh
I'm
shit.
doing it.
Oh jeez.
Okay.
Says the person who
Um,
hates permadeath.
Real
In
quick.
a day of permanent consequences, Evelyn.
Yeah, real quick. Roy, do you want to give her a blessing just to help her out before she starts?
Yeah. She
Okay.
gets the divine light.
Okay, Evelyn, you've got some divine light surrounding you. Does anybody else want to give her maybe some words of encouragement or something?
Amil is going to say something in Nova and just give like a really big smiley face, and you have no idea what it is.
Okay, that doesn't give her a good aspect, but it's appreciated.
I sent her a text.
I'm checking that text. What does that text say?
Mate, are you moving from email to text now?
Yeah, but just for Evelyn because we have a special relationship.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm also going to
Melania-
cast hard light object around the crystal to try to give it a similar energy signature to the energy that I've just given her as well through divine
Whoa.
light.
Okay, all right, I like that. Melody is basically saying like, look, I know this absolutely sucks, but like, you know, this is dangerous. Like nobody could handle that. Whatever. Evelyn.
Oh, thanks for your support, Melody. Jeez.
Hold on. You're
I'm
getting
about
all
to
these
destroy
words
this
of-
girl's whole career. Here we go.
I know. You're getting all these words of positivity. Anwar has come up behind you and is I think he takes your hand and he says, Evelyn, I believe you can do this. And then he
She is
Take her.
red as a beet right now.
Ruda comes behind her and like slacks her on the back, which he doesn't think is very hard, but it's actually very, very hard.
okay.
It's like, bro, you got this. There's a lot of elfin spirits that are counting on you.
So I think you're going to get 3 free bonuses from everything that has just happened. And then you can spend as many fate points as you can come up with. So let's start with just give me a resolve roll. Okay. You got a 6. That's not worth re-rolling. That's not bad. So 6 plus 4, 10. That's solid. That's a good starting point. Then you've got a plus 6 because you've got 3 free bonuses you collected from everyone else. Now you've got 3 fate points of your own. Here's what I'm going to tell you. There will be a permanent consequence. The nature and severity of that consequence is going to be dependent on how high you roll. So you've got 3 fate points left. If you can come up with 3 aspects for why you have an advantage here, then you can spend all 3 of them if you want.
I feel like one of the aspects is Evelyn feels really strongly about being able to do this just because, like, it brings her back to her home planet and how much she lost, and she wants to avoid these elfin souls being lost in the same way if she can.
All right. So you've got you had the one that we just established about Ruda. Do you want to invoke that again?
About Ruda?
Yeah, not Ruda, you mean Anwar.
No, sorry, Anwar.
Yeah, I want to invoke that again.
Okay.
And I feel like the third one, it's just going to be completely the fact that Avalon is.
Oh, hold on. You're using your staff, right?
Yeah, for the focus.
Okay, so you could use any of the aspects on your staff, and also you're gonna get that +2 bonus from the staff itself. The only thing on the staff is ancestral, which is it would do, but if you could come up with a better one, that'd be nice.
I mean, as for the staff, I'd probably invoke the fact that it's like the only relic I have left of my family, so it makes me feel at my most powerful, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that
Power of the
parallels
ancestors.
the like last chance to save a planet thing that you talked about earlier.
Yeah, like I feel like this is both a very desperate moment for Avalon, but it's also like she's feeling kind of competitive because she feels some type of way about Melody, like just being like, we're going in to save all these people, and then we get here and she's like, yeah, JK, I'm just saving the people that I care about, and she's like, no, I'm gonna save them all just to shit on you.
Alright, I'm noting that your staff has the aspect last remnant of my family. Okay, Avalon, you feel this huge flash of light come out of yourself, and then you feel yourself and this entire stone moving. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a choice. You rolled very well. You did fantastic. You came up with 22 total, I think, which is just unbelievable. But you are teleporting something the size of, like, a Prius. Here's your choice. Either you have persistent dizzy spells for the foreseeable future. So this is not something that's going to go away with medical attention. This is not something that's going to go away after a month. This is essentially for the remainder of the campaign, unless something that happens to change it, you are going to have dizzy spells. Basically, whenever I feel like you need a disadvantage. That's option 1. Option 2 is your staff explodes.
Damn.
And do note that I
Oh,
just
shit.
gave your staff the aspect last remnant of my family. So either your staff explodes or persistent dizzy spells for basically the remainder of the campaign.
Okay, but can Avalon also get the aspect utter badass and has the respect of everyone in our
Oh
party?
yeah, no, that's happening.
Okay,
But
alright.
it's your call, Avalon. And remember, it's not that bad that you're losing the staff. You're gonna get a cool katana soon.
Yeah, I think that it's basically going to be something that she exerts all of her energy to do it, and the staff is lost because of it.
Okay. So you hear the oh man. You feel all this power flowing through you and flowing through your staff. Remember that when you're using a focus, the power doesn't come from the object itself, it comes from your connection to the object. You can't buy a powerful focus. A focus can only be built out of an emotional connection to an object. And you have a powerful emotional connection to this staff, and you are drawing on that connection, and you're drawing power through that connection to move this massive object. And just as you feel the like flash of light coming out of you that indicates that a teleportation is happening, you also feel a crack between your hands and a sharp flash of pain, and you are going to come to a second later, but could be a second or it could be an eternity. You don't know. You are on the cargo bay of the Galanga. The giant stone is next to you, and you have shards of your staff embedded into your skin and just all over. You can feel yourself losing consciousness. This was incredibly draining on you. You've got maybe like 10 seconds left before you're out. Do you do anything? In particular, I'm thinking about the fact that none of your allies have any way of knowing that you're all right.
I feel like she's going to use the very last of her energy to send a thumbs up emoji to mate. And attack.
That's the best.
Okay.
Oh god.
As she and then afterwards, maybe if she still has a second, she's going to grip her hands in that anime moment. So she's pushing the shards deeper into herself and just feeling sad about that, and then she falls out.
Wait. Is the email, is it marked as important though?
It's a text.
Yeah, no, we need the text.
Someone sent it to me.
And it's only to me, and it's great.
Space text.
Okay. Evelyn, you are asleep on the cargo bay of the Galanga. And you're sleeping peacefully. You're having nice dreams of butterflies.
Wait. No, there's a cool moment here. What if Evelyn has dreams inspired by the billions of lives that traveled with her through the warp?
Oh, that's fucking so
Oh
good.
my
Okay,
god.
I was
Nice.
making a joke, but yeah, Evelyn is definitely in her sleep communing, just having conversations with an endless sea of people. And because time in the warp isn't real, I think I'm going to give you an aspect after this because you have talked to millions of Aelfin. So Melody is sitting speechless. Just absolutely did not think this was possible. And Anwar, I think, just says yeah, that's my girl. So
Roy does
y'all
the
wanna get out of
super
here?
anime thing where it's just huh, and then just turns off without saying anything and walks out of the room, preparing to go back to the Galanga. In our closing, when we're finished with this campaign today, the last scene I think would be Roy standing outside of Avalyn's room and using his disc drone projector to do an X-ray vision and make sure that she's all right, continuing to keep the divine light on her. But he doesn't say anything, and no one knows that he's done that. Also,
Fantastic.
his tattoo on his back flares slightly.
Yes.
Hmm.
Fantastic. So good. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah, and we gave back the chrysalis or whatever to that thingy.
yeah, that's what I was getting to. That dude is dead. The party is you get out to the courtyard outside of this building. You've got all the corpses of these enemies littered around, but Skrella meets you there, and with a few whispered words, she heads away, and so remember they are endocrine the notions. They handle pheromonal stuff. I think she sends out one of her endocrine flying creatures, and basically just gets all of the other flying creatures in the area real rowdy for it. and then flies off into the distance, pulling them out. So you guys have a clear line of egress. Your what's his name? You guys have the wombat's sleeved person who's like the leader of their team and their pilot, who has been in atmosphere this whole time. He brings one of his shuttles down and picks you guys up. He's also able to swing by with Ruda's help. You guys are able to locate Jagara and like loop her to the bottom of the transport, and the two of you, the lot of you escape. You meet back up in the Galanga, which is tethered to that guy's ship, and everyone starts heading out. Now, some logistics to take care of before the end. Melody, I think Melody sticks around for a while and makes sure that Avalyn is okay, and she offers her just like endless thanks and apologizes for being so, closed-minded and not believing that they could do it, and for dragging you guys off on this, terrible adventure without any real plan to solve the problem. But she does eventually leave because she needs to go, basically, lead the charge in the Aelfin crusade that's coming to.
Can I have a scene with her after that?
With Melody?
With Melody.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Right.
so this is
Because I actually
after she leaves, but before she, after she has talked to everyone else, but before she leaves. Okay.
I kind of want to I don't want to get shitty about it.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel that I need to not demand, but strongly ask that our crew, and especially Avalyn, be compensated more by you and the Aelfin that you represent, simply because of the sacrifice and how the crew went above and beyond. And I think that would only be fair, considering that we essentially saved 1 billion times more people than you were planning on.
That's fantastic.
And Amal, the tone Amal wants to set is not being shitty, not demanding, but being kind of firm and be look, my friend sacrificed a lot. You gotta make this a little bit, you've got to bring something to the table.
Okay. Yes, this is fantastic. So, she heartily agrees, and I think soon after you guys get a formal letter from, I don't know, the
Another
chieftain,
Aelfin ship.
Yeah, from the chieftain of one of the other Aelfin world ships. And you guys all get medals.
Can we all get an aspect hero to the Aelfin?
Yeah. So I will do that. 2 other things. One, you guys do get just a buttload of money, and for the foreseeable future, we will note that you guys are wealthy, essentially. This is more money than any person in the crew of the Gemini has gotten in a long time. And in fact, because of that, I think that I'm going to give you guys the captain of the Gemini gives you a choice. It's completely optional, but if you guys want, you can invest some of that money into a share of the Gemini itself, and in doing so, get a you guys can pick a an upgrade to the Gemini.
Holy shit.
That she will pay for with some of the money that you guys got. The one other thing that that I want to do before next game. So next game we're going to do probably a brief international or intergalactic politics thing like we did last time, but I want to keep it brief because I'm very excited to get back to what happens to you guys on the Gemini.
Why? I'm suspicious.
Oh, because there's so much good stuff happening. Other things that's happening. Malati has left to be with her people. Anwar refuses to leave Avalyn's side, and he becomes like a protective guard dog, waiting outside of her room, and just when she becomes conscious again, he just like never leaves her side. And he insists on staying on the Gemini to continue helping you guys with doing stuff like this. So Anwar is going to be a new crew member of the Gemini. The last thing that happens, and this will fit into our overall conversation for next game, Avalyn, is along with the treasure reward that you get from all of the people, you're going to get one personal gift sent to you from Malati, and it comes with a note saying that it is from the finest swordsmith she knows in the Aelfin lands. So that's going to be your sword to replace your staff. So you have a sword made by a legendary swordsmith that is not only a legendary swordsmith, but an Aelfin swordsmith, which means it's going to have different properties than a human-made one. Okay. This was a freaking lot in the game, but I'm really glad we finished it all tonight.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, good shit.
Okay, there's a lot to do next time we play, but this was fantastic. I'm very happy.
Real quick before we wrap up, what were the aspects that I gained from doing that? I know that everyone's supposed to get the Elfin Hero one, but what was the one about communing with spirits?
Okay, alright, so I'm gonna write them down while I think of them. Oh, so Hero of the Aelfin is one of them. Avalyn gets
The one about...
yeah, I think I'm gonna call it just communed with the spirits of the Aelfin. This is one we can discuss if you don't want to go this direction, but I think it would be very appropriate and fitting if your staff that exploded, you have a few fragments of it that are embedded in your body, and you have these like your body heals over it in a way that it normally wouldn't with foreign objects. And it like becomes a part of yourself, so you have these like wood shards poking out of a few places. That just feels fitting for, you know, the way that you lost your staff. Do you like that?
Yeah, I feel like there was probably a point where like she was getting like care after they returned to the ship, and they were probably like, oh, we should pull these out, and she's like, no, that's okay, I'll keep them.
How about that? Marked with the staff of my ancestors?
Yeah.
And Oh yeah. Sorry, one more for the whole party is the whole party gets the aspect rich.
Nice. Rich enough to fix my dead skin.
Yeah.
My dead skin. Rich enough
Ruda,
to fix
ask
my
me,
mag
rich
platform.
enough to fix my dead skin.
What if I was, maybe I wanted to like, so Ruda saw the movie Darkman and loves it, and now he's like second guessing.
I feel like
keeping his dead
Ruda would
skin and
leave
becoming
part of
darker.
himself scarred just because it looks cool.
Yeah, he would do that.
Would do what? Oh,
He would do that
yes,
and then use it as a
absolutely.
pickup line at a bar.
He's got a Zuko eye now.
I'm excited for Avalon with the sword. Okay. This is so much. Thank you guys. This was a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Good times, good times. See y'all next week.
All right.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
All right,
Have
y'all.
a
Alright,
good day,
everyone.
everybody.
Catch
Peace.
ya.
Have a fun
Bye.
Labor Day.